All right. Good evening, YouTube. How's everybody doing? If there's anybody out there, we'll give us a minute to spool up and see if anybody shows up. Crom was actually in the chat earlier. Made sure that I fixed the chat. It was going in slow mode. So that should be running good now. Sure, everybody had a good Thursday. We got storm rolling in here. You know. All right. We'll see how my internet holds up with this storm coming in. Hopefully I can get some people in here to hold it down in the interim. All right, looks like got some people in the chat. Stan is out there. Stan from Canada. What's going on? Thanks for joining us. M Long pops in. How you doing? You type slow and your keyboard has Tourette's. I don't know how that works, but it's all good. So give us a minute, see if we can get anybody here in the panel. I don't want to be talking about this myself, but I will get started if I need to. If I want to, I guess would be a better selection of words. Tony had a pretty good chat earlier this afternoon. If anybody didn't check that out, you'll have to wait till after this chat to go watch it. But it was good stuff. M Long had class this morning. What kind of classes you taking, M Long? Bailing out water still? Filling sandbags? So with the title, we're going to start off the chat talking about this Deerfield, Illinois proposition they passed, calling it a semi-automatic assault weapon ban. It's got several different titles depending on which article you look at. I've got a whole host of them posted up here. I'm going to go through several of them. I posted a bunch of links in the description box if you want to check them out yourself, so that we'll all be on the same page, at least somewhat, right? Continuing education, always fun. There, M Long. So let me I'll pull up the Chicago article to start. I'll share it with you all on here. So the story from WGN, the big Chicago station, just to make sure everybody's on the same page as far as the requirements and the details. Everybody's probably looked into it to some degree. The village of Deerfield, which is considered a suburb of Chicago, voted unanimously to ban certain semi-automatic firearms. The amendment to the village's gun ordinance restricts firearms that village leaders define, no other definition, their definition, as assault weapons, along with high-capacity magazines. I'm sure that's their definition as well. This includes the AR-15, which has been used in mass shootings. The new law goes into effect June 13th. Residents who don't remove banned weapons by then face a fine of $1,000 a day. So we basically got a little over 60 days. May, 66 days, 67 days. What's my math look like? Depends on how you look at it. The ordinance is based on Highland Park's high-powered weapons ban, which survived a 2015 legal battle that went to the Supreme Court. Deerfield manager Kent Street said if more towns ban weapons, then it's possible the state and federal government will too. Oh, no, it wouldn't get that far. Hate to tell them. And that's the end of the article. That was an abrupt end. Is there a... And there's a stop gun violence, take action ad right at the bottom of that, of course. Is there really the end of the... Opponents say the ban makes Deerfield less safe. That's the end of the article. That was like the shortest article ever. And that's from the 3rd, when this whole thing went down. So there's that side. Now I have the Illinois State Rifle Association is filing suit. This came out today. So I guess we'll get their interpretation. This is out of Springfield, Illinois, where I imagine they are located. The following is released by the Illinois State Rifle Association. They're pleased to announce that the association is one of 3 plaintiffs jointly filing a lawsuit against the village of Deerfield. The ISRA, along with plaintiffs Daniel Easterday and the Second Amendment Foundation, contends that the village's recently passed assault weapons ban infringes on the rights of law-abiding citizens to acquire and keep firearms of their choosing. Certainly all citizens of good conscience are seeking a solution to, whatever. But they're getting into feeling stuff now. But enacting bad public policy for the sake of doing something is not the answer. Lawful citizens should not be forced to pay penance for the misdeeds of others. You couldn't say that a better way. That's about as clear-cut as you can get. Our lawsuit demonstrates our willingness and resolve to protect the constitutional rights of the good people of Illinois. The ISRA is the state's leading advocate, yada, yada. And that's their, whatever. They close it off just describing themselves. So who is this gentleman? Daniel Easterday. I wonder if he's, I assume he's a resident of Deerfield. Otherwise, they wouldn't have grounds to file suit, I don't think. NRA, ILA put out a statement as well. They're helping join the lawsuit. They are supporting a lawsuit brought by Guns Save Life, challenging the Village of Deerfield, Illinois' gun confiscation ordinance. The lawsuit challenges Deerfield's recent attempt to criminalize and high-capacity. And they kind of quote the same stuff. They go further here. By amending an existing 2013 ordinance, the Village Board of Trustees has now empowered local authorities to confiscate and destroy all so-called assault weapons and high-capacity magazines possessed within village limits. The amendment also imposes a daily fine ranging between $250 and $1,000. Now, every other thing has always said $1,000, but apparently there's a range. Maybe it depends on what you have. And they're going to fight the ordinance. Okay. We need to find out who this gentleman is. So we got a local CBS. No, that's large. That's CBS News, CNN. I want to get some more local. When I did links, that shows the closest one I could find. Let me do a quick search here real quick, see if we can look up this 2013 ordinance. You guys talking about in the side chat. You guys are all over the place. Oh. Stan says, don't ever they'll take your licenses, right? Especially in Illinois. Mules talked about that several times, about not getting behind on. You have to have a firearms identification card in Illinois to have anything. And they already got you on a list. They already have their confiscation list ready to go. Carolina, number 1. Good evening. How are you doing? Ronnie Brown, what is up? Good evening. Is that just a period? That's your comment? At least we know you're alive, or at least at a keyboard or some keyboard. Um, just read through a couple articles on this Deerfield ordinance for gun confiscation penalties, etc. I'm looking up the history on the 2013 ordinance to get a little more detail on where this is coming from. So this is out of the Chicago Tribune from July 2013. Deerfield officials approved regulations on the storage and transportation of assault weapons. So there were requirements. The trustees were quick to point out that the ordinance did not include a ban like the one before in Highland Park. I see. So Highland Park does have a ban of some sort. Here's a quote. We didn't do what Highland Park has done on purpose. This is Deerfield trustee Barbara Struthers. And we probably won't. I can't see that we're doing anything more than this. Well, 5 years later, guess what? Yeah, we're not coming for your guns. Did somebody pop in this chat room and then disappear? It looks like it. I think I heard Tony pop in, then he popped out. So they said in 2013, this is as far as we're going, storage requirements and such. Let's see what they did exactly, if we can find it. At that time, state law preempted local law on concealed carry, but there was a caveat regarding assault weapons, which was state defined, allowing local laws to stand if they had already had on the books or created within 10 days of the governor's signature. So at that time, this legislature in Illinois had already passed the law saying that you can't do anything regarding assault weapons, but now they're coming back and doing this. So they may have violated that already. Deerfield Mayor Harriet Rosenthal said the village considers gun control to be a state or federal issue. My, how things have changed in 5 years. And that Deerfield's new local regulations are only meant to preserve future local control in case those larger governing bodies fail to act. Oh, they caveated it. Yeah. We're going to let the dust settle, and we're not going to give up our home rule rights because people think we're violating the Second Amendment. There was a 4-0 vote at that time for that local ordinance. It requires all assault weapons to be secured in a locked container or equipped with a tamper-resistant mechanical lock or other safety device, or otherwise rendered inoperable by anyone other than an authorized user. It also says the weapon must be non-functioning, unloaded, and stored in a case, or not immediately accessible through the village. The village here in a second. It's dang small, so it doesn't take you long to get through there. It takes you to stop, make it non-functioning, and then stop on the other side and make it functioning if you wanted to do that. It would take you longer to do that than to drive through this place. That ordinance, that $250 to $1,000 fine. Interesting. Must be some state requirements about what they can actually charge in a fine. Officials pointed out the ordinance does not include a ban on ownership. Red was not convinced. Yeah, Adam Rich was right. Make no mistake, this is the first step to do just that. This was a direct attack on the Second Amendment and a move to gain more control. The guy's a genius. He can see forward in time, as I think this was not going to be the last step. We're reading the city ordinance of Deerfield, Illinois from 2013, just to get us up to speed on where they're at. Deerfield Police Chief Patrick Anderson spoke on his first-hand knowledge of AR-15 weapons, which he said they were designed specifically to inflict devastating wounds to the human body. as are all firearms. And that's kind of ends like that. They have the right to limit the availability of these weapons in the village of Deerfield. So that's 2013. They said, we're not going to go further than this. You have to store your weapon like this, and you have to transport it like this. If you have a, quote, assault rifle, which was defined by the state. Now, here in this new, as we just read, ban, the village leaders are going to try to define assault weapon along with high capacity magazines, at least according to WGN. Interesting. I commented on a post earlier on the G Plus. I said this is a beta test. It has all the markings of a beta test because of where it's located, the community it's located in, and obviously they already had the history of 5 years ago. They passed this storage requirement, transportation requirement, and that's what's going to happen in California too. So let's see. That's the 2013 article. I read you the Illinois State Rifle Association. Again, these links are in the description box, except that 2013 one. I haven't got that one in there yet. Article. So they're all excited. AJ Willingham is probably just happy with glee that this went down. This was updated this evening. I don't need shoes. So just to give you some data here, there's 18,000 residents estimated in this Chicago suburb. It goes in effect June 13th. So according to the ordinance account, it is unlawful for a person to carry, keep, bear, transport, or possess an assault weapon in the village, except if the weapon is broken down in a non-functioning state, is not immediately accessible to any person, or is unloaded and enclosed in a case, firearm, carrying box, shipping box, or other container by a person who has been issued a currently valid firearm owner's identification card. Law enforcement is current and retired are exempt because some animals are more important than others. So that's a little bit different than what they're saying, because this says except if it's broken down in a non-functioning state, which is what the previous ordinance was for storage and transportation. But this is saying it always has to be broken. Yes, assault weapon. Now you're getting a little bit of confusion going on here. I'm sure the lawsuit will bring out some of the inconsistencies that they are bringing out. CNN has reached out to Deerfield's management analysts for comment. Well, that's just a bureaucrat who doesn't know anything. What are they going to answer? The authors of the legislation, well, it's a town resolution, it doesn't really count as legislation, claim the law may increase the public's sense of safety. It's a feel-good measure. Yeah, it makes you feel better. It doesn't really do anything. Notwithstanding potential objections regarding the availability of alternative weaponry or the enforceability of such a ban. That at least they're honest. The authors of the legislation claim the law may increase the public's sense of safety. So people will feel safe. There you go. They say it right there in the CNN article. The people will feel safe. Doesn't mean they will be safe. Doesn't mean it means anything. Oh my goodness. All right, going to side chat. We got people showing up. It looks like Sparks. What's up? How you doing? It's Poison. I sent you a link, Poison, if you wanted to jump in. If you got good enough connection. You didn't miss much, Jay Sparks. The insanity in Illinois that's spreading everywhere. I think this Deerfield thing's a beta test. We'll see how it works out. Saints, you got a link if you want it. JJ McKay, what's up? Right, JJ. Hammers are dangerous. I got a pair of pliers here too. I could pull your teeth out if I wanted. I might want to break those down. Ban water. People drown, Crom. You're right. You can't have that much water going around, or their crown will go up, up, up. Well, Linda, I don't know if it'll go up that much. It's a fairly white collar. If I was to compare it anyway, I think this is where Abe Froman would live, the Sausage King of Chicago. This is probably where he would live if he lived up there. If y'all remember who Abe Froman was, he was the guy in Ferris Bueller's Day Off that they impersonated to get in that restaurant. It's the only thing I could think of anybody was high end falutin. Hey, Atomic Bulls, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Trump's bump stock ban reads pretty bad. Yeah, I saw some people commenting on that. I didn't look at that myself yet. Was it you, Atomic, that put that out in Tony's chat earlier? That the GOA put out a take action email today. I think that somebody put that in Tony's chat today, I believe. Yeah. Assault swimming pools. Yeah, it's bad. So this is the CNN article, which they've already admitted it just makes everybody feel safe. It has no real effect, just so we're clear moving forward, if you didn't hear that part. The authors of this town village resolution, it's not really like I claim it is, says, quote, may increase the public's sense of safety, notwithstanding potential objections regarding the availability of alternative weaponry or the enforceability of such a ban. I don't know. You can't make this stuff up. So that's what they're trying to get past. They have some quotes down here below from the NRA, and of course, CNN poo-poos those and just says they're overreacting, of course. How the ordinance defines a problematic term. Here we go. How does these so knowledgeable town elders of Deerfield determine, how do they define assault weapon? So no discussion of the ban would be complete without some clarification. Thank you. Since the expiration of the federal assault has been in 2004, there hasn't been any. It's often dismissed by gun rights as its precision and describing, right? Very imprecise, common irritated, yada. What does it say? Deerfield's ordinance sets its own extensive definition of the term. In short, its version of an assault weapon is a semi-automatic rifle that has the capacity to accept a large capacity magazine, detachable or otherwise. There are other aspects, including rifle editions and types of magazines. So pretty much any semi-automatic rifle is what they're going to say. All your Rugers, all your 10.22s, does caliber matter? As defined by the village, the term also includes semi-automatic pistols, semi-automatic shotguns, conversion kits, and any shotgun with a revolving cylinder. These are all defined as assault weapons by these folks. The ban also an ended list of firearm models. It includes the AR-15 and its variants, of course, which they're going to have to tie to Douglas High School. And the article ends. CNN and these people in their articles in some strange ways. Is that really the end? People don't know how to write. So that's their definition that they made up on their own. And they're also including in this semi-automatic pistols. So pretty much every pistol, except for revolvers, semi-automatic shotguns, any shotgun with a revolving cylinder. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Conversion kits. I wonder what conversion kits talks about. Interesting. Yeah, good point, Stan. Cities versus rural. That's probably where it's coming down to. Water guns are not banned yet. Well, actually, Linda, if it's got a capacity to hold multiple rounds of water, I think it would fall under this. So it's probably banned. You're probably right. Chris Cook, good evening. How you doing? Dropping the like, showing support. Thanks for coming checking it out. Make them drink Flint water. Crom. Oh, you guys talking about Deerfield or somewhere else? Good little. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are on topic. You guys always get off subject. They're all experts, of course. Saints. They're educated. They probably went to Northwestern. Those with modified Nerf guns, right? I mean, is a Nerf gun not covered under this? It's got a revolving cylinder. Some of them. They're all semi-auto for the most part, I think. Oh, so very problematic definition they've come with on their own. The NRA is going to tear this apart. The Illinois State Rifle Association is going to tear this apart in court. I'm fairly sure, based upon the Heller decision alone, to go out and ban things that are commonly available is problematic for them. So, yeah, that could cause problems indeed in this moving forward for this town. But I did want to get into the demographics of this whole thing because that's important if you're talking about how they're beta testing this whole thing. So here it is up here in the right. This is a Google map. It's up here in the top corner. And Chicago obviously is down here. So it's just a little suburb tucked up here in the middle of everything. Let me zoom in here. And I was looking at it earlier, and I don't think there's probably a whiter, more upper class section in Chicago. And I was wanting Mule to come in and verify some of this because when I looked at this, it's like, yeah, I mean, this is the country club right here, this big green section in this red boundary, and there's a golf course over here. So it's in between all these golf courses. I'm fairly sure this is high-end residential. It's not like there might not even be an AR-15 owned in this community, except for that gentleman. But yeah, here's the country club that runs to the middle of town. It's got a Whole Foods is the only market I found that pops up. There's not like any other inside the actual town limits. So it's all high-end people driving BMWs and stuff, I think. Not what you would call a middle-class town that has any gun owners to speak of to begin with. So it's a good place to do a beta test if you're trying to see what you can get through in the courts. So somebody's probably supporting their legal effort as well because they knew it was coming. Yeah, I think you're right, JJ. That's my opinion. It's going to get beat. It's going to be beat down severely in court, I think. But the unfortunate thing is people are going to have to suffer until this thing makes its way through court. Or not. I don't, again, in this neighborhood, how many AR-15s do you think there are here in this town of 18,225, according to WikiLink here, which is not a resource, but I'll just use it. But it's been experiencing a population decline like every other majority white neighborhood in America. So it's not what you would call on the growth spectrum of neighborhoods, but definitely high end, has its own country club, etc. Oh, we've been graced with the presence of somebody from the chat.
Yeah, we'll see how long this will last.
I hear you. My internet gets screwy. Well, I think half the time it's Google's server. I've had days where my internet's fine and the Google server is all kinds of screwy.
Yeah, well, I'm connected through a tether on my cell phone, so that's the kind of internet I'm running.
Right. which sometimes can be better than your regular. Actually, depends on how
Well,
far away this tower is.
I had HughesNet, but they advertised 25 megs, and we got one, so we got out of the contract on that one because you can't. I mean, if you're close, okay, but I mean, 25 and you're only getting one, that's not even close.
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about that a couple weeks ago.
Yep. So my mission here is to get your channel banned. Whoops. Ooh. Got the bum stuff.
You trying to show off for your man Trump so he knows what he's coming to get?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't hear about that. Is that an actual thing now?
Yeah, Atomic Bulls was commenting in the side chat about the GOA put out a statement today about it, a call to action about the whole thing. So, yeah, there's information out there, I guess.
You haven't really been following. Figure they can have it when they come get it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, so are you kind of up to speed on this whole Deerfield thing? Did you hear most of that in the side chat?
No, I mean I was kind of goofing off in the side chat.
Oh, there you go. Like everybody else, right?
Pretty much. That's what
Everybody
I
just
do,
gets in
man.
there to talk to each other. They're not listening to me.
Yeah. So Deerfield, is that like a community or something?
Yeah, they call it a village outside of Chicago. You can see the map here. It's just north of Chicago. It's got a
I'm not too
residents of about
surprised.
18,000. It's got a country club that basically is in this. It's very high end, what you would call upper white class neighborhood. Best I can tell. The only grocery store I could find was a Whole Foods. So
Yeah, I saw the
they're
thing
not
where you
much.
said it's just there to make them feel safe, which is hilarious.
Oh, they even that was the quote. Yeah, for anybody, let's go back. That was that was in CNN. That's the CNN article. So they admit it right out front. About halfway down, the authors of the legislation claim the law may increase the public's sense of safety, notwithstanding potential objections regarding the availability of alternative weaponry or the enforceability of such a ban. I mean,
Yeah.
it's laughable.
When you first said the revolving shotguns, I perked up, man, because I never heard of a revolving shotgun. And then I was like, wait a minute, are they talking about the judge and the public defender or whatever?
Oh, because they have 410 shells.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know of that's a
Oh, I didn't.
revolving shotgun.
I guess that would make sense. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, yeah, because so, technically it bans revolvers as well. Then any
Yeah.
revolver that can take those 410 or snake shot.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
I mean, if you wanted to get real technical, yeah, the 22s, you can put snake. Well, you can put snake shot in just about any pistol now. They won't
Yeah.
really function very well, but you can do it. But
Yeah.
YouTube, bump stock, high capacity magazine. Ban his channel. No, I'm just kidding.
It's bound to happen any day now, right?
Yeah, they said, what was it, the 12th or the 15th of April? Their new laws are going into effect on YouTube.
Say that again.
I think I heard on one of these channels saying that the new rules on YouTube are going into effect on April 12th or 15th, something pretty soon.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear about that. That there was another deadline date. I thought they were just doing it as they went along.
Well, I guess the bigger YouTubers out there get advance notice.
Oh yeah, well I always see these guys like, well, the big time people talking about it. I'm like, I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah.
Definitely not important enough to work. I mean, I'm not a gun channel per se either.
No, but you're definitely on their list of promoting freedom,
You think
showing
so?
self-reliance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's just a legal test to see what they can get away with, and they're going to try to push it elsewhere in other places if they get it by or not.
Yeah, Illinois is good for that. I mean, that's where the original gun ban started coming from anyway, right?
Well, it depends on how many years you back you want to go. I mean,
Yeah, I guess if you want to go back to the 1800s, Wyatt Earp from Wyatt Earp was part of
right.
that.
I mean, small individual towns that ban things or
Mm-hmm.
confiscate, or the whole South. Blacks couldn't own guns. Just
Right?
depends on
Yeah.
how you want to do it. When you want to talk about gun control.
Yeah, if I was the NRA, I'd be pushing the whole reason why they even formed in the first place every second I got. I'm not a supporter of the NRA,
Yeah.
but I mean, if I was, that's what I'd be pushing. Like, do you know why we started up our company or our organization?
Organization. Right. Yeah. A couple people bring it up. You see it on social media, but
Yeah,
it's hard to get that in front of the public.
yeah. They don't want to broadcast that too much.
Yeah, they don't want people to know the truth that how this whole thing goes down.
And don't forget, the party switched. At some point, in the 60s, I guess, the Democrats decided to go to Republicans and Republicans all decided to go to Democrats
Well,
at the same time. Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, they just went up and made their own definition of assault weapon and are going to run with it, I guess.
Any weapon with a detachable magazine, pretty
Or
much.
internal even. And they didn't say what classified as a high capacity.
Right.
Um, they didn't detail that in the article. Might have to
I'm
look a
always
little further for
expecting
that.
10 rounds, but there was one time in California, I think they defined it as 5 or more.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, it's hard to say.
Hey, somebody from the
It's, it,
People's
it's
Turn.
it's raining there for you, Sparks. Yeah, we're getting you here next, I guess. If it's hitting him. Who comes here within the chat?
It is I.
Oh, we got a
Uh,
secret society going on now. We got a ritual. Yeah.
you got another secret password to get in.
Yeah.
What's up, Saints?
Just wanted to be here when when Stinger got you channel 10. I wanted to be here.
Wait a minute. Let me go get my shotgun over there. It's got a bump fire stock and a drum. Yeah.
Just kidding. I feel safer knowing them people ain't gonna have no ARs up there. But then again, I don't live there.
It's not just ARs. I mean, it's all kinds of semi-automatic weapons.
Oh yeah. Well, they should just give them just go ahead and ban all of them there, and dude, that'll be a picker's paradise. I mean, you just go through there and get what you want.
Yeah, you got to figure if you're a gangbanger and in Chicago, you're looking at Deerfield like, man, it's just up the interstate.
Yeah, and it's
hop
high.
on, hop off.
It's a richer part of town, right?
Yeah.
Affluent.
Yeah, it looks high end. It doesn't look like nobody there makes under 100,000. I don't think.
ARs, I think, are everywhere. Somebody in that community's probably got one.
Yeah, I figure that guy that's mentioned in the law in the Illinois State Rifle Association article, and it names an individual. I think he's probably from that, because they have to have somebody with standing to go to court with. Yeah, Daniel Easterday is a plaintiff mentioned in the case, so I figure he's got to be from the town. They have to have somebody.
Is he fighting it or what?
Well, yeah, he's mentioned in the lawsuit, so I'm as a plaintiff, so I imagine that he's the one from there, and the rest of them pile on as co plaintiffs or however you want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of like a class action.
Well, no, it's different than that. It's kind of like when Heller against DC went through. They had to get somebody to actually challenge it that was a resident. It's called have standing in court. You have to somebody that's actually a aggrieved party within the jurisdiction. So without somebody that actually lives there, it's hard to get something in court early on.
I'm actually wondering if there's going to be like a class action lawsuit against YouTube with the gun communities if all this stuff goes south. Because that's an idea if you think about it. For all the gun channels out there that aren't doing anything illegal or showing anything illegal, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to show it.
I know it's one of those things. It's private business policy. It's hard to. You have to have actual damage. You have to be able to show how you were damaged in some way.
Well, I can show that I'm not making any money anymore because I'm shadow banned for the last year and a half.
But that was on purpose.
Well, yeah, exactly. I don't know. I still think they should be broken up, but I don't know if anybody's ever going to break up Google and Facebook.
So I wonder how far Deerfield is out of Chicago. I mean, it didn't look like it was far when you were showing it on the map.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like it's but a hop, jip, and a skunk.
50 minutes, an hour.
Oh,
no, not 20
not unless
minutes,
you're in
maybe,
traffic.
max.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Right.
You really want to disarm yourself and you're 20 minutes out of Chicago. Dude, they're setting up a feedlot. That's what they're doing.
A feedlot. Yep, leading the cows to the slaughter.
I mean,
it says 34 minutes, 27 miles to the center of Chicago and the center of Deerfield. So
okay, well, I could jump in.
It's nothing.
I could jump in a hoopty and be there in just a blink of an eye. Wow.
Right.
If it makes them feel safer, I guess that's what we're looking for.
Oh yeah, that's a lakefront town.
All about the feels, right?
Yeah.
Yep, we're going to infringe on your rights so everybody else feels better. Even though they probably won't. People in Deerfield probably don't even realize how many AR-15s go through their community every day, or semi-automatic weapons for that matter. Out of sight, out of mind. Oh, the CBS article, just for everybody out in the side chat, if you want, the CBS article actually lists some pretty detailed list of the rifles included in this ban. Included is the Ruger Mini 14 is included in the ban.
Oh, really? But that's a wooden gun.
Dude, they're desperate now if they're going for the Mini 14s. Holy cow, that thing's missed everything.
Hey, it's all about the operator error, right? Hey, Food Force, thanks for checking in with us. Good night. Yeah, the Dragunov SVD sniper rifle. Like who?
Since there hadn't been one imported in 25 years, yeah, let's go ahead and ban those days.
Yeah,
they sound dangerous.
Yeah, so that if you're in the CBS News article in the description box has this list in it, and it goes through the normal standard ones and also a couple of these select ones. It's pretty funny.
Now they might find the AR out there in those rich neighborhoods, but they are probably not going to find the Dragunov out there. So,
all right. What's the Olympic Arms PCR? I've never heard of it.
AR that's in 9mm pistol caliber rifle.
Oh, okay. It's one of those.
It's a 9mm.
It says here antique handguns that have been rendered permanently inoperable and weapons designed for Olympic target shooting events are exempt. So there's some exemptions that we didn't mention earlier.
Oh, nice.
Right? Yeah.
35 minutes from Chicago to Deerfield.
See, now, this CBS article conflicts with that earlier article we read. As this article says, it bans the possession, sale, and manufacture of assault weapons and large capacity magazines, quote, to increase the public's sense of safety. Man,
I don't know,
man. Led by fools.
Magazines like this do, kind of look intimidating, I guess.
But how often do you see them, right?
They look like a big old set of nuts on my rifle. I don't see them except for at the range, and I've never seen that one other than on a YouTube video. And obviously the one I own, but everybody thinks it's a beta mag, and I keep trying to tell them it's not.
On steroids.
Yeah, it does an extra 50 plus it doesn't jam like beta mags. Beta mags are like the best thing for mass shooters. If you're against mass shootings, because every time I've seen a mass shooter use a beta mag, the damn thing always fails and they have to go to something else. The Aurora shooter had a beta mag and it failed like after only a few rounds. He had to go to a shotgun, I think.
Well, I'll have to say, I've dug into it neck deep, and I'm probably going to say that's the first American-made. That is an American-made product.
The one I have? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll have to say that's the. Like I said, I've dug in neck deep in that stuff, and I'll have to say that's the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
That must.
They need to.
Say again. Did you see one before?
Go ahead and finish your thought.
Had
seen what?
One of those big double jobbies like Stinger's got. I've never seen one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're out and about.
Okay.
I haven't.
Well, I mean, I've seen people at the range have them, and there might be people I know may have them. I can't confirm or deny that. But.
Yeah, I don't. They're just, to me, they're rare. Like I said, I thought I'd been in neck deep, and I've never.
No, they're rare for more than just that. They're expensive as all hell. That magazine cost me $450.
Well, there's rich people out there. I mean, I mentioned one of them to my rich buddy the other day, and he's like, "Where can I get one?"
Yeah, but usually rich people can also afford the fully autos.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right. So I had to go back and double check. So the quote from 2013 where the mayor of this
this got to be good.
So the mayor in 2013 was Harriet Rosenthal when they passed that transportation and storage local ordinance, as they're calling it. What did she say? Let me go. Oh man, I just got sidetracked. She said the village considers gun control to be a state and federal issue, and that Deerfield's new local regulations are only meant to preserve future local control in case these larger governing bodies fail to act. We're going to let the dust settle, and we're not going to give up our home rule rights because we think people we're violating the Second Amendment, because as far as we're concerned, this does not violate the Second Amendment. So this is, again, 2013 when she said that. I thought Board of Trustees person that said, I can't see we're going to do anything more than this. Okay. That was a different person. So that was the mayor's quote. Because in this last article here, it's the same lady as the mayor still 5 years later, which is probably part of their problem too. We hope that our local decision helps spur state and national leaders to take steps to make our communities safer, which that does neither. All right. just comparing articles.
So they must have had like 150 gun crimes in that community, all committed with AR-15. I'd like to see the crime statistics on that community, because I bet there is probably zero. Somebody's lawnmower got stolen. Somebody's cat got stolen.
Yeah, the way they do crime stats, they're probably wrapped into Chicago's what they call Metropolitan Statistical Area, MSA. That's probably how they wrap in their statistics. So you can't really separate
Boy, that'd be bad.
out.
If they tied them in with Chicago, dude, if they went in with zero, they'd still be bad.
Right. No.
And CNN's on the scene reporting as caravans of people pull in with their trunk loads of AR-15 to run through this portable smasher unit. We've recently, yeah, I can see it all now.
They're going to have their token press, big press event where somebody's going to bring in their AR. Oh, here's my AR to sacrifice to the government Moloch.
No, yeah, the guy that sawed his in half, which is hilarious.
Sacrifice theirs to the government. So it's not in the FBI stats, but in a website called neighborhoodscout.com does stats breakouts. So it has the sub-neighborhoods, Deerfield Crime Analytics. So its crime index is 82%. It's safer than 82% of U.S. cities. Deerfield annual crimes. So the crime rate per 1,000 residents is 0.26.
Well, they get them ARs out of there. They liable to hit 100%.
Yeah, the Illinois median per 1,000 is 4.36. So they're way below the Illinois stats. So report total, this is, what year is this from? Is it down here when the... Is that you, Stinger?
That was my wife, yes.
Oh, she's calling it.
No, she's playing with her phone and doing something. I don't know what she's doing.
It doesn't tell you what year these stats are from.
Oh, she's Snapchatting. I'm sorry. She's snapping. Thanks.
It doesn't tell me what year. I guess I would go with these are probably 2016 stats. But there was one rape in the reporting year, one robbery, and 3 assaults. No murders. Chances of becoming a victim of violent crime in Deerfield is 1 in 3,800. In Illinois, the number is 1 in 229. So it's so far below statistical analysis. It's ridiculous. It's a big standard deviation lower. Property crime comparison. In Deerfield, there were 17 burglaries in the report year, 104 thefts in the report year, and 3 motor vehicle thefts. This is just up the street from Chicago, too, like we're saying. This is a 20-minute drive for some hoodlums to come up there and take people out. So that's a burglary rate of 0.89 per 1,000, 5.47 thefts per 1,000, and 0.16 motor vehicle thefts per 1,000. Well below national and Illinois numbers. Crimes per square mile is 23. while Illinois is 35 on average. So they're just stats. They're, yeah, like we said, very high class, rich white neighborhood with low crime. Yeah, the Deerfield chances of you becoming a victim of crime in the community is 1 in 147. The average in the U.S. is 1 in 35. Chicago, this could be considered a significantly safer place than anywhere else in the United States.
It'll be funny if they get an influx of crime coming out of Chicago. I mean, they're pretty much announcing it.
Right?
I bet if you went through there with your radio playing loud and an old junker, you'd probably get stopped and run out of there too.
Yeah, I'm sure those police that they probably have a high number of police because they can probably afford it.
You mean good guys with guns?
Well, maybe not in this case because they're just there to extort you.
Sit outside while you get shot up if something happens.
Let's see if they have their own police force. Have their own, yep. A town of 18,000 is surrounded by that many people, different suburbs, and they have their own force.
Wow.
So, how big is their force?
2 MRAPs, 4 Humvees, 7 automatic wire dispensers.
Wow.
2 Cobra gunships.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
You got 2.
They could probably afford it, right?
And a sniper in a pear tree. Man.
Yeah, got 2 teams of Mike Force lined up right now, waiting 24/7 on the pad. Just in case somebody gets in somebody's backyard.
So this is the Deerfield Police's 2016 annual report. If it opens up. It's taking a moment. All right, let's see if I'll share this real quick just so y'all can see that I ain't lying, right? Well, police that they have on duty. Whoa. Org chart. Let's keep going. Okay. Whoa, slow down here. Org charts are always good, right, Saints?
Yeah, they serve a purpose.
I think there's more officers in this police department than my whole county's sheriff department.
Well, look at the numbers there, dude. That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
And I know all of them got a brand new ride too, brand new.
Well, let me exclude dispatch. That's dispatch on the right side. Communications. So just the left side here, not counting This is civilian crossing guards down here at the bottom, so we won't include them. So just what's sworn officers, I guess. $28, including 29 including the traffic sergeant. 30 including investigations. Oh wait, 31, 32, 36, 36. This 38. Yeah, it'd be 38 sworn officers probably. That's huge. That's what's 138 divided into 18,000.
Let me get right on
math
that.
Yeah. Where's my?
32.
That's an insane, and look how small that area was on that map. I mean, you could patrol that area with one car. You know, they're saturating the area. No one, I mean, you can imagine. Yeah, you come from Chicago, you'd stick out like a sore thumb probably riding through there.
Every cop has to protect 473 people.
Right.
So they got one police officer for 500 people.
That sounds like one teacher per that many students in a school.
Yeah. Very, very high-end neighborhood.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Must be nice.
Oh, it'd probably be a good job, too, you know, getting a dead cat out of the road or getting somebody's, you know, dead dog out of the road every now and then, or stop and get their garbage can blew out in the road. And the rest of the time you ride around the freaking $1 million homes and, well, be nice to everybody.
Criminals are smart enough not to go to those places, though, because if you rob another person of your own, they ain't going to care, right? But if you rob a rich person, you know, an affluent neighborhood, yeah, they're much more likely to come after you with everything they got.
Right.
I mean, look at all the unsolved murders in Chicago because they don't even try. But if you kill somebody in Deerfield, I'm sure they'll figure that out quick.
Right. Yeah. So really, their crime can't really go any lower on this gun ban. So they got nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, and they'll tout those statistics as well pretty soon too. Like, oh yeah, our gun crime is really low for the national average.
Right. Go in and check out the side chat real quick. Tearing it up. And back up a little bit. ZPD says north of Detroit's very wealthy. They hide the grocery store with landscaping. He parked behind their parking lot, and everyone grabbed their babies and okay, they scared ZPD, scared them all off. Nanook of the North rolls in. They all got scared. Stan says the only reason to go to Detroit is the so they're talking about Detroit. They're not even on Chicago. Come on, stay on topic there, folks.
Wrong state, people.
I
mean, it's close. It is in the Midwest.
Right? Yeah, I zoomed in on some of the area earlier today in Deerfield, and it was like you cruise by the high school, like there's no graffiti. There's a guy riding a moped down the street. It's like, oh, this is definitely, you know, it's definitely not what you think of when you think of Chicago.
Yeah, there are definitely different types of Chicago out there. And all the politicians and the white people in Chicago all live in one area. And that area, the police give a crap about.
Yeah, I was really wanting to get Mule in here and see what he had to say about it. I figured he had
pretty close.
He's been a little bit everywhere. He could at least know, confirm that it's like the rich white neighborhood we think it is.
Yeah, I think he lives a little south of Chicago. I don't remember exactly where. Well, even if I did, I wouldn't say it, but yeah, he's pretty close.
It's still couple hours, I think, from Chicago, where he's at.
I don't know. It's in that area where everything just kind of melds together, all the suburbs and stuff. You just like, it's all one big city.
Yeah, I went through Chicago back in the '80s when I was a kid, and I
Really?
remember. Yeah, I had a cousin that lived up. Let me zoom out here and see where it was.
I learned how to drive semi truck in Chicago. Talk about
in Chicago.
yeah, in Chicago, like in Chicago.
Well,
And their lanes on their highway, I swear to God, were not wide enough for my truck, and it was very nerve wracking. But I didn't have a problem with anywhere else after that. So
yeah, we actually had to drive through the south side on 90 to drive up through there to get to, where was it? Let me look here.
yeah, I was driving from Green Bay to Flint and back every day for a while.
Oh yeah, that was back in the day, huh?
Well, 2006, 2007, something like that. Yeah, so about 10 years ago. I like that job.
Oh yeah, was it all right?
Yeah, it was really fun, but and it paid really well, but unfortunately, it wasn't really good for my health. And I had a whole bunch of stuff that happened at the time. My the mother of my child had passed away, and my wife at the time had suffered an injury because we were team drivers, so it was both me and her. And so she had an injury, and then with my daughter needing a parent, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to stop that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of the place was, but anyway, it was right outside there, and we had to drive through up through the 90 into Chicago. I remember looking at the windows like, and I'd been to Detroit, some rough places, but Chicago looked like its own other level of Mad Max, for at least from my perspective, from the hills type kid, I'd been places, but dadgum,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get out unless you made me. It may
Especially
have
at
been
night.
Wheaton, Illinois. It may have been where it was. That looks familiar.
Especially at night, man. Then it's even more scary for some reason. Oh, it's okay, Chavez. It was a long time ago. It was a good job. It paid a lot, but being a big guy too, it wasn't really good for my health and circulation and all that. So it was probably for the best. Sorry, I'm reading the
I don't
chat.
want to lose you. Saints probably took a break.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if Tony was Tony in the side chat a second ago.
I heard mention of him.
Yeah, he was going to go somewhere. They were going to go hang out somewhere tonight.
Oh, really? No chat for him.
Probably later. He's doing the graveyard deal.
Oh, right. Yeah, his work schedule. That's right. I keep getting sidetracked with him. He's always got a different job like every other week.
Every day's a holiday, every weekend's a vacation, every meal's a banquet.
Yeah, Tony quit that job a long time ago. Mike, so send you a link if you want to jump in. I didn't send you one earlier. I sent one to a bunch of people earlier.
Yeah, appreciate it. I actually got everything up and running halfway decent. So screw you. The LTE gods are with me tonight.
Well, I've been jumping in Tony's chat. I figure people probably get tired of my language for a while and tell me to take a break.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the Tony chat a little bit last night, right before they went off air. I wanted to join, but at the same time, I was watching it in bed, and I was like, I'm not gonna get up and go turn on the computer. Screw that.
Yeah, I'll shoot one out to Angel too. Maybe he'll jump in.
Hey,
I
I
know
don't want to. I don't want to derail it, but what about old Kate Brown's telling him she's not going to send her National Guard to the border?
Right? Well, that's governors who want to follow federalism, but people aren't used to that.
I don't think she's a big fan of the current administration.
I mean, honestly, I would tell him the same thing if I was governor.
Right?
But I don't agree with Kate Brown on anything else, really. I don't think you could say.
No.
Yeah, what is going on with that whole caravan thing? That's the whole thing.
They were saying they were breaking up in Mexico City. The organizers couldn't fund the rest, I don't think. So they're going to send the people on their own. They're going to have to fend for themselves. They're saying, but the big concern I had was Monday. They even reported there were several hundred males that jumped on a train, separated from the group on their own.
Yeah.
It's like, well, who's that? Is that the Syrian army, or who is that?
Man, when it comes from all sides and all angles. It's kind of hard to keep track of what's all going on at any given time.
Well, the good news for you is that to you.
They posted some pictures today, some photos of people up on the barricade there, and there's multi-cammed out. I don't think they were Border Patrol. I think they might have been early arrivals. But he did say today in one of them little news conferences that they're going to be helping build the wall. So maybe he'll do. I mean, if they're going to pay somebody to do it, they might as well pay the Corps engineers.
Hey, Patch, what's up? Thanks for checking in with us.
Man, they got great equipment. They got great, freaking best excavators and dozers and stuff you can buy, dude. They can do the job. There's bound to be some CBs somewhere out there in California, San Diego. They can run them out there and let them give them a hammer.
Oh yeah, fence ends there in Cali and just keep going, moving east.
Now, the reason I said that Breitbart had an article up that said they were going to quit working with the U.S. against the drug cartels if he put military on the border.
Who said that? Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's on Breitbart.
Right. Yeah, there's been some words back and forth there. It's kind of like the Chinese tariff thing. Lots of words going on.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of big talk. Somebody's going to have to back it up at some point.
Yeah, Mexican Senate threatens to stop helping U.S. against drug cartels if Trump deploys troops to the border. They're about a day late and $1 short because I bet you there's a bunch of them already there.
Why do we have to send troops to everybody else's border, but we can't send our own to our own border?
That's what I'm saying. Remember we went through the budget, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
We went through that line item they had where they actually mentioned the borders that the Defense Department is being funded to protect. Tunisia, Jordan, all these places were like, what?
Yeah. Doesn't make much sense. Except for that they don't want America to be its own independent country anymore. I mean, if we just have open borders and, what kind of country is that? As I said, they're coming from all sides. I mean, you put that with the gun control stuff and all the other rights that they're slowly taking away here and there. It's just, yeah. That's why I sometimes just get away from the whole news cycle and just enjoy life. You got to, I guess.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's better to enjoy when you can, right? There's only so much you can do when people are big, broad strokes like that. You know, it's not like you're going to be able to stop the world.
Yeah, see, I don't know how Tony can do it. Like, if I was Tony, I would have went nuts by now with all the, chats that he does about the stuff that's going on nonstop. I don't think that dude takes a break. I admire him for that, but I couldn't do it.
I mean, I've always been kind of a news junkie to a certain degree, but I didn't get all riled up about it. I just keep myself informed.
Oh, yeah.
Tony gets a little hot and heated, though.
Yeah. I get pissed off and I get grumpy and then I want to go do something stupid and then I talk myself out of it and I just don't watch the news for a while and it works.
I mean, I haven't watched TV news in, I can't remember the last time. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Maybe when something.
I don't like reading very much.
I think the last time the only thing I watch on TV is like when Rand Paul had a filibuster. I watched that on C-SPAN.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched TV news unless there's something local comes on that I want to check out. If there's a local story that pops up, I can't even think of the last time I turned on the TV for that purpose. I watch Sports Center more than the news. TV's for entertainment. It's not for information, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They telling lies on that TV.
Even ESPN tells lies.
Yep.
The only thing I've watched as far as a TV program probably in the last 5 years would be when there's a storm coming through, I'll go to the local, they'll go live on YouTube with the local weather, and I'll watch their storm center, and that's it.
The weather. Yeah, the weather is something you hope you can trust to a certain degree, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have an agenda, or might with global warming. You don't know.
Yeah, they get it right. They get it right most of the time. That's better than the freaking reporters do. They don't get it right at all, dude.
Right. Yeah, JJ has a good point out there. If you've seen that video, and we shared it earlier in the week of shows all the different local news stations reading the same script at the same time.
I know I've seen something like that a while ago.
Yes, Survival what's their name of the channel? I shared it on the G Plus earlier in the week. They had compilated a video, and there's a couple others out there with it in there of having all this stuff edited together, showing how these stations are reverberating the exact same storyline of we're here to protect democracy. This is important to our democracy, and we're here to help you in the local community. It's like, oh my goodness. Dude, it's been bad for a long time, but that really highlighted it.
Dude, it was a bunch of them too. I mean, it wasn't one or two or three. It was a freaking stack of them saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, it was 20. Like JJ said, it was like 20 of them. And I commented on the channel. I was like, anybody that was supporting Ron Paul from 07 on saw this stuff. The media was dogpiling him verbatim. Like every channel he looked at was the same stuff. They would attack him with the same ad hominem attacks.
Well, at least he knew it was coming.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's not as good as what Clinton got with getting the questions, but.
Oh, right.
She may have been right when she told that woman that behind the scenes there that if we screw this up, we're all going to swing from nooses. She may have been right.
Yeah, I was following that quite a bit with the whole investigation flip-flopping over to the dossier being fake and all that, but I haven't been watching lately. But I'm very hopeful that somebody goes to jail. Probably won't, but boy, I'll give a big old hell yeah if somebody does.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of losing. I've been kind of lost a little faith in that. That justice scale tilting one way.
Oh yeah, big time.
Dead air, dead air.
Hmm.
See, when you get bikes in here, bikes covers up all the dead air. Him or Tony.
I did talk to you about what I've been doing, but it's kind of boring. I mean, I've just been going out on my porch and shooting whenever I feel like, and I've been gathering a whole bunch of sap from some pine trees on my property and making some fat wood with that, and maybe some other kind of fire starters. And I learned you can make glue, or that's what the Indians used to make glue. So I thought that was pretty cool. I might have some fun projects doing that. But other than that, just basic stuff going on out here. I got to get water delivery here pretty soon, and getting the chicken coop building here pretty soon. So that'll be cool. Oh, and I'm getting into casting lead bullets, so that'll be fun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's a good project, I guess you'd say.
It's a good skill to have, and sure does save you a lot of money when you make it yourself instead of buying them. So.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if 3D printers are in high demand in Deerfield, Illinois. Although it
Right?
says you can't. You said you can't manufacture, but who's gonna know, right?
Exactly. Well, they were trying to pass something just recently saying that not just the lower receiver was going to be the gun anymore, because that's the whole ghost gun, right? So they're wanting to make other things like the barrel and stuff serialized and considered the gun too, so that you can't do an 80% lower anymore.
Right. You have to have multiple parts.
Mm-hmm. And that pisses me off about YouTube too, because they're saying that that's going to be something that you're not going to be able to do, is showing yourself doing an 80% lower build. And I was going to do one. I wasn't going to do a whole bunch, but I was going to do one just for fun. Guess I'm not going to do that now.
Yeah, they said the parts, like in England, the parts that they serial numbered were the hard parts, like the bolt face, the barrel, the actual alloy hardened parts is what they numbered instead of just the receiver top of bolt.
Yeah, the barrel would be the best one to do for sure, because that's the hardest to do.
How do you stamp the bolt face? Wouldn't that wear out over time?
No, the bolt. Not the bolt, not necessarily the bolt face. They stamp the bolt, the hard parts, like they'd stamp the.
Yeah. Still, there's the outside of the bolt, the inside of the bolt. It all has friction. Like, where's the part? I guess the very end of the bolt, you could put it on the bolt carrier.
Well, I know they imprint the serial number in the gun where you can't even see it.
Yeah, they'll etch it in there, laser etch it in there where it goes deep enough that you have to deface it or deactivate it to get rid of it.
Yeah, I guess it's like they talk about micro stamping ammunition. It's so tiny that you can't even tell.
Tony,
it's marked.
What's up, you bald-headed motherfucker?
What's up? Dude,
about time you got in here, Tony.
Dude, Kmart's going out of business everywhere.
Okay, Grandpa, turn off your radio. You're on my chat. This ain't your chat.
I don't got my radio on.
I heard that. What do you mean you got your radio on?
No, I just walked in the door.
I did it. I set him up. I did it.
Oh, was that you?
I was like, I ain't even got the door yet.
I beat him to the draw. The minute he came in, I had my radio sitting there ready.
That is some shit.
Right. Yeah, Tony's becoming the old guy listening to the scanner.
Oh yeah, he's got a police scanner.
Oh, dude, I just went. Yeah, well, I went
Just
to
programmable radio.
I went to Kmart right now because they're going out of business. So they had like everything was on sale. So I picked up like reusable cold packs, gauze, like
Nice.
for like 38 cents, 74 cents. Like, yeah. I wish I would have known they were having a fire sale like a week or two ago. They probably had more stuff.
I'm gonna have to look into that then because we love getting stuff on sale. We don't have a Kmart near us, but my wife goes down to Phoenix like a couple times a week still. So
Yeah, these big old gauzes were like 74 cents right here. So good shit, rolled gauze. Got some reusable cold packs. So, what are you guys talking about?
We were talking about Deerfield, Illinois, and that whole gun ban. You heard much about it?
What was that again?
The Deerfield, Illinois gun ban.
Oh, $1,000 a day or something.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-oh. Intruder stinger.
no, that's not my dog.
Oh,
I don't know
no?
much about that, but I know that I know that they had American flags in the corner there, and that there were $7 for the flag and the pole and everything.
That's
Really, the
Kmart?
pole too? What kind of pole?
It's the regular one that you can get at Walmart. The regular thing. It's just everything was fucking
Just a small little
8%
thing.
off. They're like 50 or 80% off there at Kmart.
Nice. Yeah, I want to get an actual flagpole out here, but the ones I've been looking at are like $150 or more.
Or like a stand-up pole, like
Yeah, like a big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at maybe putting an antenna on top of it too. You know,
Oh yeah.
for our LTE or whatever, because we're gonna get a repeater and the MiFi or whatever and do our internet that way. So hopefully it'll increase and get better in the next week or so. But thought that would be pretty cool to have that up on there.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Thing is, they won't even let us hang an American flag here. I don't think they'll let us hang any flags here.
Well, yeah,
What?
you live in an apartment,
Oh
man.
yeah, you're in a complex.
Yeah, that's the same thing I had when I was living in the apartments, and you couldn't ever fly any flags except for on your walls. And now I can fly flags, so I kind of want to, you know.
Yeah. Get your own pole and dig your own thing and do it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing eventually. I got other more important stuff like chicken coops and stuff to build first, but
There you go. Yeah, I've been working on my pig pens.
yeah, how are you pigs doing?
Oh, they're all getting fat, fortunately.
How long do you wait before you slaughter them for bacon?
It depends. It depends. These guys, the oldest guys we got, are only 10 months. They're not even a year old yet. So we could. Some people butcher them a little earlier. You can wait. I mean, these guys aren't full grown, really.
All right. Well, I mean, at some point you got to figure out what the cost of pork is versus how much you're feeding them.
Well, yeah. I mean, phase. So
Oh yeah.
we'll see how it works out if we get.
Your kids aren't falling in
Luck we
love with
get, I
them yet,
guess.
are they?
I mean, they're cool animals like any other.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I've always had an issue with that. You know, I don't like. I mean, I'd raise an animal for slaughter if I needed to, but I don't see me needing to right now. So, you know, I just do the chickens and the eggs kind of thing because I live near so many ranchers. The beef prices around here are insanely cheap. I can get half a cow for $500. So, I mean, that's about a year's worth of beef.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, getting in on something like that.
Yeah. Plus, I like it that it's local and they don't. It's not all processed and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I got a buddy that's splitting a cow with some other folks. They're raising it. It's like, I'll trade you some pork for some, or some bacon for some
Yeah,
Sirloin is something later down the road.
the bartering, man. I love the bartering out in the smaller areas. Awesome. Do work for something instead of paying for a cat. You can't afford something? Well, let me do some yard work for you, buddy. Oh,
Right? Wave of the future.
exactly.
Everything old is new again.
Damn, I got no idea how this sucker works.
You got to know what?
I got no idea how this flagpole works. It's got like a sleeve, but then it's got like some type of janky ass hook at the top. So I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
That holds it up, son. If it's a sleeve flag, the top of your flag's going to have a little thing that goes into that hook.
I don't see it though. I don't see the little thing that goes into the hook. I don't know if I'm tripping or what. I got like a little piece of Velcro inside of the sleeve. Oh, I see it.
There you go. You got to be smarter than the flagpole, Tony.
Right. So janky though. That's it.
Well, you got it at
You got it at Kmart.
Kmart.
I made sure it was made in America. The pole is made in China.
Oh.
In America.
Yeah, I remember the first time I got an American flag that had stamped "Made in China." I thought that was some bullshit.
Oh, you can't do that. You ain't allowed to do that shit. You are not allowed to buy a flag that's made in fucking China. You gotta make the flags made in America, but the pole can be imported. I guess there's no rules against that. $7 from Kmart on fire sale. So
What kind of material is it made out of?
cotton.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, it's thick. It's the main flag company.
Yeah.
Annan.
It's toxic cyanide treated where if communists burn it, it kills them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I remember that story. That was the best story of the year, I think, in my opinion.
It's 70% polyester, 30% cotton, made in USA.
I guess there is some cotton in there.
Stick to them like napalm. Yeah.
You gotta have the polyester to poison communists. So.
Or Antifa.
You see us on the chat today, man? We're influencing Germany, dude. My shit's going over the webs to Germany. It's crazy.
It's because your bald head and your white complexion.
Right? White devil.
You're going to cause international incidents. What's going to happen, Tony?
Right? Bro, can you imagine if I free their people? I'm going to be like the Moses of Germany.
Second Hitler.
Right? Or in this case, Reich.
All right.
Gosh. Tony's going to be probably studying German now.
Oh, shit. They're awesome, though, dude. They're so, like, to me, those fools are, like, super polite. And
Oh, yeah. Almost too polite.
yeah, well, I think, like, my girl, she heard the guy talking, and she's like, that's weird. And I was like, no, it's like, he's trying to put the words in the right order, you know what I mean? Because that's the same thing when I speak Spanish. I have a hard time because I put the fucking words in the wrong order.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember, he was talking. I was like, yeah, that's the way everybody is. You're trying to speak something you're not fluent in. You're just like thinking it. You're trying to think ahead.
But I talk to Mexicans all the time, and that fool was doing way better than any Mexican I know. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's speaking better than I speak German.
Yeah, dude, that was a good chat. I mean, that's the only reason when he jumped in, I just kept it rolling. I was like, hell yeah.
He was outgunned, too. Everybody on the panel had a gun by him.
Aw.
Right?
Yeah. Poor guy was left out, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Should have got a Luger.
Shit, they ain't got nothing. He said that you got to go, he said you got to go through a psych analysis and a this and a that. You got to get a certificate, and it's like hoops.
Yeah,
Just like California and New York, right?
Yeah, he said you can't even get a crossbow. The only thing they've got is a bow and arrow. It's the only thing that they could literally go by.
Well, he stays by the Swiss border.
Yeah, Swiss border. He's right on the Swiss border.
And then France is on his
Hey, mule.
something. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
he's right across the Rhine from France, he said. And it's a short drive down to Switzerland, it sounded like.
But he let everybody know that everybody in Sweden had guns at home. They all are. They're big gun people.
Yeah.
Switzerland, yeah.
Yeah.
After World War II, you know, Hitler banned guns, and that's probably still the case. That's probably from that same time. And Switzerland was like, let's arm everybody.
And if you could understand him, you know what I mean? I don't think he was that hard to understand, but dude, he dropped so much knowledge the whole time. I don't even think he realized, but he was just dropping so much knowledge. You know, he was saying like Germany's been occupied since the end of World War II, and they've never ever been able to get it back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he was dropping a lot of knowledge. I don't know. I mean, I just let him talk. Honestly, when he was worried about talking too much, I was like, just let him talk. You know what I mean?
Man, they are really interested in the Americans and the Constitution and our Bill of Rights. They're just fascinated by it.
I wish Americans were fascinated by it.
Really? I know it. They take it for granted, man.
No doubt.
You know, the people that come into this country legally and actually do the test, like El Tendo Fabrizio, knows more about the Constitution than about 90% or more of American citizens.
Well, he couldn't get a grasp on what held us together. And I said, it's our Constitution and our Bill of Rights hold us together. And he couldn't. Dude, for the life, he said, is it because you're all American? He said, well, yeah, that's part of it, but it's our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our, you know, and what I mean, he just couldn't get a grip on that. I guess
every other country is associated by ethnic and you know, those type of bonds.
And that's what they're trying to do now with all these divisive kind of things that are coming out with. It's exactly what they're doing. And if we could all just remember that Black lives do matter, but so do my life and blue life. Everybody's life matters. So instead of saying, you know, black violence or cops on black violence, how about cop violence on Americans? Aren't we all Americans? But they don't want to do that kind of talk because that would actually make us stronger as a nation.
Right.
Well, and that's one of the things that you can tell somebody from overseas is it is really, truly our ideals. The Bill of Rights and the Constitution can apply to every single body regardless of race, creed, or color, right? It's not just for one particular tribe. It's for the American tribe. So your individual, this is where, and we've had this discussion a billion times, right? The fact that they constantly break us down into this tribal classification, African American, Irish American, German American, blah, blah, blah. No, we're Americans. And that's where our ideals, that's where this lack of education to our children is damaging our country, because our ideals, you know, back when they first wrote all men were created equal, it didn't include the black man. It didn't include the Oriental. It didn't include anybody else. But we as a people grew to include it in everybody else, right? In 1776, it only applied to white landowners. In 1976, it applied to fucking every human being. In 2016, it applies to every human being if you want it to. You know, we're the only nation where we were able to grow and see things. See, we look at ourselves and we have these ideals, but we try and live up to them and we fall short. But when we do, we try and repair that. That's why we went to war to end slavery and other things, right? But why? Because we try and do better. You know, and that's what keeps us together when we focus in on it as Americans.
All right, Mule, now that you got your soapbox chance. Hey, but earlier, Mule, since we'll get this out of the way, we were talking about the Deerfield, Illinois situation with them having this ban they've put in place. We read through some of the news and the lawsuit that's going on against that, and we went pretty far in depth to it. But from everything we can gather, that place is like white bread, high upper class neighborhood. Like there's no crime. They've got like one police officer per 400 citizens. Like it doesn't look like there's any reason to be concerned there, but yet they pass this supposedly in their statement to make people feel safer.
Yeah, but the whole problem with that is it's illegal under the Illinois Constitution. And when they redid after the McDonald decision, right, and after we passed concealed carry, and they try and bring up another town that did it, just they got in under the wire, so they're grandfathered in to allow that town to have a ban in. Every other one since then, it would be illegal to do. So this is just symbolic, right? And the fucked up thing is nobody understands that. So then they all get their asses up in an uproar, right? And so freak the fuck out. And now, you know, I'm getting people hitting me up. What the hell's going on in Illinois? And these motherfuckers living, you know, in California, and they're like, oh yeah, you talk about us. I'm like, dude, this is all symbolism. There's no teeth to this. They can't go confiscate anybody's guns. It's actually illegal under state law. So yes, is it going to have to, you know, is some lawyer going to get fucking rich off of it? Of course. But
yeah, that's what we saw too. Like it's just go to the courts and take its time, but
yeah, but it's just symbolic, right? So it's going to be an expensive symbolism, right, that allows both sides to get their fucking panties in a bunch. You know, the Second Amendment side go, oh my God, you can't do that. And the anti-gun side are going, look what they did. Oh my God, it's awesome. You know? And both sides are fucked because it's illegal. It's illegal under state fucking law.
Yeah, we read
Right,
that. We read back to the 2013 resolution they passed, which was for transportation and storage of assault weapons, and we looked forward, and then we read the current one, and yeah, you could see that either it's a type of beta test and it's a feel good measure to make them feel better about themselves, but like you said, it'll probably be shot down in court. And the NRA statement and the Illinois State Rifle Association statement are all pretty, you know, straightforward. But it just seems like it's them trying to, like the mayor of the town even said it. We're trying to prod national and state leaders to do something, is what she said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and this
look
is
at them with their low crime.
Sorry, go ahead, Sting.
I was just gonna say, because then they can point to them having very low crime or gun crime, and see the success of this place that banned all of these weapons when there wasn't much crime to begin with.
Right, and that's as ridiculous as the one that says, look at that town in Georgia that made everybody get a gun. Look at how low their crime is. Guess how low their crime was before they made everybody get a gun? About the fucking same, right? So they did this just to feel like they said this Deerfield is a high-end bedroom community of Chicago. So it's just one big circle jerk to make themselves feel good. Nobody there who is a Second Amendment person and has high capacity mags or quote unquote assault weapons is going to turn a fucking thing in. And if the Deerfield chief of police tried to bang on somebody's door to grab it, you know, this is a very wealthy community. You want to know how fast that lawsuit's going to spring off?
Pretty fast.
We would hope so.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter because it all plays into the one thing that everybody pays attention to, and because nobody cares about the realness, it plays into the headlines, right? So it plays into the fact that nobody ever fact checks, nobody ever reads a retraction, nobody ever reads a correction.
I read 5 articles on here plus the history of it, so we were working on it.
Well, no, but you understand what I'm saying. It's not us. It's the general population of America will not read a retraction, will not read a correction. They read the fucking headline, five words in a sentence, and they take that all as fact and they run with it. And they think they're a fucking expert because they read 5 fucking words in a fucking lead-in sentence. You know, so they take that and all of a sudden they're, you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, of whatever their subject is. I'm an expert because I read something from Fox.
Yeah, we actually read 2 different stories, one from WGN and one from CBS, big time CBS, and they conflicted each other kind of on what the whole proposition was about. They didn't even agree.
Yeah. I mean, so it's just, look, and this is the thing, this is the way our fucking, this whole social media bullshit set up and playing us all like fools, right? They have us chasing our tails like we're fucking dogs every minute of the day. The thing that's fucking scaring us the most is the thing that's right on our body behind us. You know, it's like, chase your tail in a circle, boy. Now go the other way. That tail's going to the left. No, now it's going to the right. Now it's going to the left. Now it's going to the right. So everybody's always scatterbrained and constantly on stress, and you know their stress levels are fucking always high. The shitty fucking chemicals that get kicked off when you are stressed are always high. Why? Because you're reading fucking headlines all day and you're taking it like you're a goddamn expert.
I would never do that.
No, you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, but yeah, people are pretty spun up about it. Actually, Atomic Bulls brought up earlier in Tony's chat, and again tonight in our chat, he mentioned that Gun Owners of America put out a notice, action alert, for the bump stock ban and the proposal there from the administration, because it goes into more detail than just that device. It goes into other forms of devices and things that basically go after semi-automatics as well.
Well, I really wish we as gun owners could get together as fucking one group, right? Because we could bring to the attention that the fact the only reason why any of these things are a thing, the bump stock, the trigger stuff, is because of the NFA. And that all these things were okayed under the ATF under Obama. None of it, this is the fucked up thing about all this shit. None of it's new. Fucking AR-15 was made in the goddamn 50s, and they act like it's a fucking brand new gun that can shoot through the fucking planet. You know? And it's a goddamn it's a 22 with 100 extra grains of powder.
Yeah, not 100, a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? But it looks scary, Mule. Come on. You got people with spoons here.
And they're at least admitting that. People say they admit that shit 100%, right? That it's scary looking and that's good enough for us to hate it, right? It's like that one kid in the march who's like, oh, they gave us an inch. And she fucking made the argument for everyone we've always had. They gave an inch on the bump stock. We're going for the mile. We want them all.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that a lot of us have been saying. We ain't no more compromise. Zero. Fuck the NRA. Fuck anybody who wants to take one step backwards. We've compromised for 100 years. I'm not compromising any longer. Right? The gun owners of America, the people who believe in the Second Amendment, have compromised every step for 100 years.
You're so
right. So. Fuck anybody who wants to compromise anymore.
Yeah, we've been saying that for quite a while.
Yeah, but look, the people are fucking sheep, okay? And the sheep watch the goddamn tube and listen to what it tells. Look, we are living 1984. We are living double speak. We are living news speak. We are living the whole fucking thing. And people don't give a shit, and I give a shit less and less every day since fucking Snowden exposed shit that we knew was true for 10 years, right, or better. And fucking Snowden finally exposes it. Everybody goes, "Oh wow, that's crazy," but I got nothing to hide, so go ahead and search everything I got. Go ahead and sell all my information, and then I'm going to get pissed off when you actually do it because somebody who I didn't like bought that information. Right? That's like them losing their mind over fucking Facebook coordinating with the Trump campaign. Meanwhile, that whole system was set up by the Obama campaign 4 years before to troll every bit of social media and direct at each individual a campaign towards you. But nobody gave a fuck when Obama's doing it, but the fact that the Trumps did it, now everybody suddenly gives a fuck. Nobody was worried when the NSA was fucking trolling and metadating everybody for the past fucking, at least 10 years, right? Until all of a sudden Trump's in charge.
Well, it's just the vocal side that has the media on their side.
What was it that Democrat? Is it Schaefer? I forget. There was this one guy who's on CNN all the time, and he had proposed a bill back in Obama's time about how the FISA courts had too much power and they should be more transparent, right? And now that Trump's in office, he's totally flip-flopped, and there was actually a Republican who reintroduced this guy's bill exactly verbatim and asked him to co-sponsor it, and of course he won't because he doesn't like it now because Trump's in office and not.
Oh, to give FISA more power? That was what the bill was for?
No, it was to give FISA less power, to make it more transparent, right? Because actually a FISA court's fucking illegal in the United States. But to bring that up, it goes against our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, every bit of fucking legislation that's ever been for civil rights. The fucking kangaroo secret court of FISA is fucking illegal. But right, nobody gave a shit when it was nobody gives a shit when their team's in office.
Well, because nobody has anything to hide, and it's for our safety, right?
Yeah, whatever. You know what? That's why I don't give a fuck no more. Because technically, if I must have nothing to hide. I have tons of shit to hide. I was a really bad person. I did really bad shit. I did stuff that I'm pretty sure I'm guaranteed to go to fucking hell for. So I have tons of shit to hide I don't want nobody to know about. But thankfully, I did it all before fucking computers were everywhere.
Yeah.
So you want to find out about you got to go directly to the Fibbies, right? You got to go find. You got to go scour fucking endless tapes, right? That they recorded back in the day in the old way, right? But you've got to work that. There's no going to be digital filters to screen that shit. You got to go watch 500 hours or listen to 500 hours of tape out of a candy store in Queens, to catch my voice. Or you got to go watch 100,000 hours of videotape off a Third and Third, right, down at the old at a clubhouse, right, to see me coming and going, or the one in Oakland or down in LA, right? So thankfully, back in the analog days, we didn't make it easy for them. They could still do it, but it took a lot of man hours, right? Now, it takes an algorithm through just your data to find out anything they need to that they can call illegal.
Not to mention facial recognition can find exactly where you were at that time.
Oh yeah, and on top of it, if you at one time connected to Facebook on that particular phone, it's tracked you every day since.
Yeah.
And it listened to every phone call, every message. Anytime it wanted to turn on a camera, it did. When you start finding out the capabilities that we've given them and let them have, and they have in our pockets, and we bought them willingly with our own. We bought them. They didn't make us take shit. We buy it willingly.
And
the mark of the beast. Remember back in the day when everybody's like, "Oh, I'm never going to get a chip put in my fucking body because it's going to be the mark of the beast." Blah blah blah. People are going to pay big money to do it willingly.
Yeah, if it's a phone, hell yeah, the new iPhone chip. Gotta get that.
Oh, guaranteed. If I can talk to my hand literally, and up in my eyeball, I can see with my. I don't have to wear glasses. No, I just right in my eyeball. It's projected on the back of my fucking eyeball like a heads-up display screen. I'll guarantee you, people are gonna pay for that. They'll sell a kidney for it.
Yep.
Right. Tony, you're not singing "Addicted to Love," are you? You look like you're dancing to "Addicted to Love" over there.
Hey, you might as well face it.
That song was stuck in my head all day. That was hilarious.
Did you didn't take a moment of silence and roll that? Because
oh no, I haven't done that tonight in the chat. We might have to do that in a minute.
When Quasar showed me that shit, bro, when he showed me that last night, I lost my shit, bro. I grew up listening to that shit. That shit.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I thought it was fitting because she actually looked like she could have went in that and done that
video.
The background of the video, like she'd have been one of those girls dancing.
Oh yeah.
All she had to do was flick her hair back and put red lipstick on.
I can't believe she had as many subs as she did.
Sorry, go ahead, Mule. What'd you say?
I'm asking, did somebody make a video with my favorite YouTuber, the Dead-Eyed Iranian?
Yes. You
They
should
put
play.
they did a compilation of all their stuff and matched it up to "Addicted to Love" by Robert Palmer.
You want,
I'm
me,
gonna have
That old '80s song.
you want me to help you out?
It's hilarious. Yeah, can you share the audio too, Tony? We'll take an intermission break here for
Okay,
comedic
here we go.
relief.
And you know
Sometimes
what?
you just gotta laugh.
You know what the funniest part is? Is she comes up in the search. You don't even have to like. Well, she did earlier. You don't even have to put like her name in there. She just comes up in the search. It's awesome. Well,
Yeah,
not
fair
anymore.
use, fair use.
What's her name again? I forgot.
But while you're doing it, I got to tell you why I have such a love for this woman after she's dead. 'Cause she totally fucks up all their narratives.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know,
What's her name again? I already forgot her name.
I couldn't.
Nassim Ahmed
Yeah,
Agam.
God.
There's one guy who tweeted, "I'll eat my hat if this is not a white NRA
know, right?
Trump supporter." I'm like, you best get ready to eat it.
You better be a big 10-gallon hat too.
He took his shit the second that chick's name came out. He blocked his Twitter account. He locked it up. Nobody could see it. The second that name came out on who the shooter was, and it was a woman, he shut his shit down after saying that. Because look, we're in a non-shooting war, okay? And information is the fucking weapon at this point.
Yep.
You know, they come out with some stupid shit like, oh my God, there's, panic at YouTube, right? And then it turns out to be a vegan, militant PETA member, female Iranian immigrant.
Well, if
Muslim?
she was a PETA member, then
He
PETA
took it
members,
down, dude.
the PETA people are the new NRA, right? I mean, we can say that anybody that supports PETA is now a member of a terrorist organization.
Really, Tony?
They took it down. I can't find it.
We can
Check
100%.
history.
I'm looking right now. It's not in my history, so I'm going to Facebook where I originally shared it.
You know what? It's
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
It's gone.
As fast as possible.
Oh, they deleted it.
Yep, it's gone.
Welcome to 1984, right?
Right.
Big Brother says,
Mm.
and it's the net.
It's in my chat. It's in my chat. They don't got it. It's in my chat.
They're gonna delete your chat, Tony.
You best download that quick,
Man, that was a good chat, man. Somebody's got to block that or something, unlist it.
Is it at the very beginning of your chat, Tony, or where is it in your chat?
I did it twice.
Go unlist that sucker before they grab it.
I know, right?
Shit, download it if it's not too long of a chat.
What you guys are telling me just proves all the points I've made for the past 10 years on this fucking internet, man. If they're scrubbing her presence off the internet, which is exactly what they're fucking doing.
Yeah, because we ran it I ran it on 3 chats. I played it on 3 different chats, so it's gonna be, the quality's not gonna be that great, but you probably get the gist if I can find it.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
I played it once or twice last night, and then twice today.
Hey, HD.
Yes,
when
sir.
you're rolling on your day, you ever listen to Jocko Winkle? Winker?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you got to check this podcast out, dude. You will get a lot out of it. You two, actually, anybody would get a lot out of it, but I think particularly you and Saints would both get a lot out of it. And it's a guy who he does podcasts, and he's an ex-Navy SEAL, and he's just he ends up discussing books and leadership a lot. Right? So he'll take a book, like he took a book. I'm listening to one he's doing on the Miley Massacre right now. And just the way he deciphers shit and breaks it down, it's really interesting. Just a heads up.
What's his name again? Jocko?
Jocko. Spell it the way it sounds, and you'll get it. It'll be Jocko Winkle something.
You're addicted to love.
Some shit like that.
Can you put it on your screen, Tony?
I'm trying. I'm working on it. It's gonna be bootleg as a mug.
Oh, I think I found it. Are you on from last night or from today?
Today.
Okay, I've got it.
Oh, it's not as good, dude.
Gotta put that on full screen, man.
Bro, whoever's got this original, please send it to me. Oh my god, dude.
I think we should do a remix of the other song, "Simply Irresistible." Look at that
Right?
one too.
I'm telling you, all she needs is the slick back hair and the bright red lipstick.
If she could have got a call from Robert Palmer, a couple years ago when he, before he died, and could have got a reunion tour, she'd have been famous.
Oh yeah.
Well, now she's infamous, so I guess that's good enough, right?
And
Right.
you know, like, I don't know. I think we talked about it last night, dude. I couldn't find one person that I know personally that's mad at her. I'm just saying, I know there's some guys that are, I don't condone this, but, bro, how about you just say you don't really give a fuck, fuck YouTube, and fuck all the little stereotypes, because that bitch just went in there and blew them all out of the water. And she ain't even jihad. You know what I mean? I would not have no respect for her if she would have went jihad. She went
in there because she was shadow banned and they were suppressing her shit, which is like 100% truthful of what they actually freaking do.
Yeah, and she's fed up.
I'll tell you something. That's the funny part that I'm reading in all the articles I've read about this, right? Is they all bring that shit up. Whereas they'd never bring up that, any other shooter might possibly have a case, right? Either being bullied or whatever, right? With that chick, you go halfway through those articles and they start saying, this shit did actually happen to her. There was a right to be mad but not kill anybody, And it's like, wow. Why can't you report shit like that? The whole story on everybody else's fucking fuck ups. They might have had a point, but they went about it the wrong way.
What's up, Truth? Just saw him out there. Truth seeker out there.
I have a question for you guys, because a lot of you are libertarians. When does a private company become a public utility? When does something like, say, when you think about it, when does that happen?
When they hold more information than the U.S. government, that's a big, point.
Well, I mean, look at Google and YouTube right now. They are pretty much almost a public utility, or should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But private companies, so they're able to, if they want to, they can shut us all off, delete all our shit. We have no right to say dick, because we all agreed when we started making videos that YouTube owned everything about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all nonsense that everybody's bitching about, fucking gun videos being pulled down or political this is a private company. It's not a public utility. So they can do whatever the fuck they want. They can shut it all off for a day if they feel like it. Right? Because it's a private company. So we actually have no place to bitch if you look at it from a libertarian, free marketeer, open market kind of person. We have no right to bitch. This corporation can do whatever the fuck it wants. It has no obligation to fucking stand on free speech. None whatsoever.
Right.
Right? Because it's not a public entity. It's a private entity. But it's gotten so big and it touches so many lives. To me, it should be a public entity. It should be busted up like Ma Bell was at one time and fucking turned into a public utility.
Yeah, but for only half the public, because they're politicized now.
But if they were a public utility, they wouldn't be able to stop. They wouldn't be able to shut off voices, right? Then the First Amendment would apply. Right now, it doesn't. Right now, it's a private entity. You can do whatever the fuck they want. They can censor us. They can scrub us. They can delete us. They can do whatever the hell they want because it's a private entity.
Right. There's terms of service. As long as they don't violate the terms of service contract.
But here's the deal. They can change it any time, and it's written into the contract. That's why they're able to choose the terms of service anytime they want and make them retroactive.
Yep.
Right? Because it's a private company. So videos you put up 5 years ago that were fine, now today they don't like them. They can fucking scrub them.
Oh, I had that happen with mine. They gave me a strike for the unboxing of the Bumsky video. I didn't put it on the rifle. I didn't shoot it. It was me unboxing it, and that got a flag.
And it was perfectly legal at the time.
Yep. I mean, that was what, 2012? I think.
Yeah. Middle of the Obama administration, right after they said, yeah, this is good to go. Knock yourselves out, America. Right?
Yep, pretty much.
You know, so it was perfectly legal then, but now they're going to ban the shit and they can do it retroactively because it's a private company, privately held company.
Yeah.
We shall see what happens if they go that route.
Well, I mean, look, I posted a meme just, yesterday or whatever, or today, this morning, whatever the fuck. My sense of time's all fucked up with this 12 hours at night, But look what they've done with Assange, right? So Assange posts, he will give out for free information on governments and corporations and on the shady shit they do, and they classify this guy as a criminal, right? But fucking Zuckerberg, he takes all your private information and sells it to fucking governments to use against you, and they make this fucking dude man of the year.
If it wasn't true, it'd be fun. It's stranger than fiction, right?
Yeah, it is. But you know what's the whole point of this is, and I know I'm a foul-mouthed person saying it, but the whole point of it is that we're never going to get YouTube turned into a public utility. You're never going to get Google turned into a public utility. You're never going to get any of these social services turned into public utilities that can be regulated because the government doesn't want them to be regulated. It likes using them as their private spy services with no oversight.
Now that is illegal, though. The government can't tap into that.
Yeah.
But
that's where it should be stopped.
We can say all we want that they can't, right? But can't, won't, can't, and don't are two different things. Fucking the CIA, Amazon, basically, Bezos, right, and the Washington Post to set up their fucking half their spy and analysis fucking computers and shit. So what the fuck are you talking about? With the same guy that owns the Washington Post is in bed with the CIA. So, but we're supposed to accept. We're supposed to accept that what these people say are truth. The fuck are you talking about?
Right.
But nobody cares. Nobody pays attention. They're just going to roll on. They're going to get the fucking chip put in their head so they can watch their TV through their eyeball, right, while they're driving in fucking traffic. With the robot car driving them everywhere. Fuck, dude. Look, there's sometimes I wish the GI. It's fucking crazy.
Right? I mean, it's crazier than we expected even 4 years ago. When we're on here, when you started the Dragon, it's like, did you ever think it would get this far?
Yes, we all did. We were all worried about it. We all saw the coming. We all saw the fact they were using, George Orwell's book as a goddamn blueprint and not as a warning. These people grew up reading 1984 and went, damn, that's a good idea. Meanwhile, generations before went, damn, that's a scary idea. Right?
Right.
People today, privacy is a thing of the past. You no longer have it. Any fucking even talking about it is just pure mouth bullshit. Right? After Snowden, if you don't understand, there's zero privacy in this world any longer, especially the more modern you are. Right? You want privacy? Go to fucking sub-Saharan Africa. Right? You might get some. You want privacy? You go to the deepest, darkest jungles of fucking Brazil. You want some privacy? You head over to fucking parts of the world that's not connected. and you'll still have privacy. Anywhere here in the United States, you don't get it. I'm being looked at right now by 4 cameras. And not talking about the one in my phone. So, look, America is a thing of the past. Whatever this new fucking thing is, I don't know. But the America I've known, I grew up loving, it's gone. It's not here any longer. You know, what's going to be the new version? I have no fucking clue.
This flagpole kind of sucks because I can't hook any flag to it. I can only hook that flag to the came.
Right. Yeah.
I could hook the top. I don't know. I need to come up with some little rig.
Just get a zip tie.
Yeah, I can do that.
Sure.
That's my flag, dude. That's my nicest flag right there. And I didn't even got to take this one out to battle yet, bro. I only got to take this to a I've only got to take this one out to a Bundy protest, but I haven't got to take this one out to battle yet. Can't wait though. I'll tell you what. This one's been out. You remember this one, HD? In fact, I'm probably gonna send this one to somebody. This one's seen some shit here.
All right. Yeah.
In fact, I ain't even never seen nobody with my same flag.
I have the same thing. What are you kidding?
This one, look, this one's been to the standoff. It was there before the standoff. It's been to Lavoie's funeral. It's been to a bunch of protests. I don't remember if I had this at the camp. I don't think I did. It's been to a lot, dude. This been everywhere. This one
I
held
like the black one.
good too, man. The Gadsden and Culpeper flags are good, dude.
Oh yeah, they put up good stuff.
I mean, they're Chinese-made shit, but you know what I mean. What can you say? You could pay for the American ones. They got the good $60, $70, $80 American flags.
Oh yeah.
But you know, these right here, I got that 3%er flag somewhere around here. That thing's in shambles, bro.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
We've only had it for like 6 years.
Yeah, that one's seen every event.
Right. You brought that one up here for the 4th of July too, right?
Yeah.
That's that old.
Yeah,
That
what are
was-
we doing this 4th of July? Huh? What are we doing this week?
Who's this week?
Are you throwing a party down at your house or something there, Steve?
Man, I was thinking about that. Get like everybody at least on this side of the Mississippi together for a shoot. Would be fun.
Well, if
Right?
you
Bring camping gear. Stinger's got the land.
Mhm.
call me to be out there, I'll come out.
All the tannerite ammo we can bring, right?
Yep, that's right. I might warn the neighbors about the tannerite beforehand, just so they know what's going on. But
It's not a
It's
small
funny.
war.
sound really travels out here, man. I can hear the train from my house, and it is literally at least 2 miles away.
Oh, that's close.
Hey, where's
Yeah.
Well, we were shooting, and they were over there decided they were gonna shoot, and then
There
they
you
were
go.
over there decided they were gonna shoot.
Hey, there ain't nothing left of this thing almost.
And usually, when I start shooting, after I'm done, all of a sudden you can hear the neighbors start shooting. So I guess it must be catching.
This
Well,
one.
it's out here. That's my biggest problem is how far sound can carry. Right.
Yeah.
I got a couple of outlaw spots that I only get about a half hour to be able to play in before, you know, the stateies or the county guys start showing up, you know, because they start scouring roads to find out where people are shooting because the sound travels so far.
Another one of these. Brand new one.
5 miles away, we'll call.
Wow.
That's the sad part about living in a blue state.
This flag's retired. This one's going in a glass case.
You found your 3%er?
Oh yeah. This thing right here is toast, dude. It's all
It needs to go in a museum. That's been on TV more than most.
it's unraveling. It needs to be properly retired. I don't take it out to nothing no more.
retire it to an class case, because you know what? That one went to the Bundy from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, that's been through everything. I'd definitely be saving that.
Yeah, that one took some torture, man. Yeah,
You know, when the United States breaks up, they may be, you know, collector's items.
right.
When you live in the you know, whatever Arizona, Nevada, you know, and Utah turn into or some shit.
It's
You
funny.
know?
It's funny, like how flags, what flags can represent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like before I did this shit, I would have never ever thought I'd be like having flags. I got like flags all over the place, and they're all like a different, like, it's like a different chapter of my whole like liberty waking up. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I had flags when I was a kid, but it wasn't the same type of flags and for the same reasons. But I had, you know,
I gave flags away too, like, because I ordered a bunch off of Gaston and Culpeper. I gave away what do you call it? You know what I'm talking about? The Navy Jack. I gave out a Navy Jack flag on my channel. I gave out a couple other Don't Tread on Me flags.
Tony, that black Don't Tread on Me flag that I have had for years, guess who gave it to me, fool?
I did?
Yeah. Dude, I've won like 3 of your fucking contests because I was like,
you know the funny thing is
Easy to win,
you won the it was only you and Fabrizio. The 4,000 sub one too with the commie ammo. Oh, that's funny. I meant to tell you that.
Wait, you mean Rich didn't win those? Shoot, what was his name? The guy used to win all the contests. Rich. What was the channel name?
I would more Tony.
Wizenheim.
Yeah, Rich. What was his channel name though?
Yeah, long 13 hair.
Long 13. Yeah, he used to win every single contest, like every one.
Yeah.
Well,
he even won one of mine, I think, back in the day.
He won one of mine. When my giveaway, he won one piece of it.
I think did my hunting knife. He won that fucking buck skinning knife. I think he won.
That was hilarious.
Good. I'm just here until they call me.
All right, I'll let you know.
Did Maxwell get that train up? Yeah. He got pushed up?
Yeah.
All right, good deal.
All right. Mule's engaged in business. We don't want to bleed too much of that over. Yeah, Long 13 hair won like every contest for like 4 months or something.
Yeah, he used to have a lot of contests. You're muted, Mule.
Yeah, I muted you.
It's funny, if I entered a Tony contest, I won a Tony contest.
Yeah.
But it's always Mule, Fabrizio, and like, because it's always like the same. No matter how cool my contest is, it's always like the same 4 guys.
Well, you know, look, we all backed each other up. We all, you know, if Stinger or you or Kansas or anybody, especially at that time, was doing a contest, even if I didn't want the crap they were giving away, which half the time that was true, I still, you know, made a video and joined in the contest just to support a friend. That's back when YouTube was a community, back when they didn't know what the fuck they had, and it really was a free, you know, the wild, wild west, a libertarian paradise for a while. You know, where you could put up anything, you know, and even some super fucked up shit, but you know, it was free then. Now it's not, you know. Now they've figured out what they have, and they don't want to let it go, and they just want to make the money. YouTube was never about free speech. It was always about somebody trying to make a buck for free off of other people's fucking content.
Well, it was back, but you got to go way back before Google bought them out.
Yeah.
Back when there was no ads on your videos or anybody's videos.
Yeah. You know, but even when they started doing the ad stuff, they were still letting, you know, they until people started bitching to to the people that pay for these ads and start saying, look, I don't want my ad on X video, and that got loud enough, right? They were still very laissez-faire, right? They were very live and let live. You know, make your shit, we'll all make money, we'll all be happy. Until the social justice warriors figured out that they can control the narrative. The small little group of people that are the loudest figured out they can control the narrative for everybody.
Squeaky wheel in the grease, right?
Old story, right? Still fucking works. Obviously, look at it. People are still talking about the scumbag David Hogg.
Hog hunting.
Squeaky wheel. He's nothing. There's no fucking substance to the person, but because he's gotten his fucking face on TV enough, all of a sudden he's an expert in shit. And people will buy what he has to say because they've seen his fucking face.
Oh, I hate that double standard, though. You can't attack him because he's a kid, but you got to take him seriously because he's a survivor.
I don't know who made that rule up. I don't know who made that rule up. You know what's funny is I really like Laura Ingraham, right? And I even did videos months back. Like, I love me some Laura Ingraham. I always fucking give her props, you know? And then here she goes clowning on him. I'm still in the game with her, but then she goes and apologizes to him and then wants everybody to get her back. Or I don't even know that she's calling for everybody to get her back. I know people are calling for everybody to get her back.
No, they called her advertisers and they were shutting down advertisers.
My point is, I would have fucking went in head first if she didn't apologize to the fucking Lord. You know
Exactly. You can't show fucking weakness any longer.
No.
It's not.
You don't apologize.
No compromise, no apology for something that you didn't need to apologize for.
Yep.
And just because, look, if I don't give a fuck when somebody puts themselves out there to be in the spotlight, that's what they put themselves out there to be. That fool's, there's no rules on him. To me, there ain't no rules on him. A traitor is a traitor, is a subversive, is a subversive. None of that shit matters.
He's fucking 17, right? At one time, it used to be the presidential children were off limits, right? This kid's a 17-year-old kid fucking shouting from the rooftops. He makes himself a fucking target.
I don't even think he's 17, bro. I think he's older than that. That motherfucker graduated from some school in California.
That's not the point. I don't give a shit about that. My point is that they never stopped attacking Byron. Whatever the fucking kid's name is, Barron. That's a stupid name to make. I'm never happy with that name, okay? But I'm picking on this kid who has nothing to do with what his parents do, right? And yet he's fair game, right? You can pick on the Obama kids, right? Even when they were
young. That fool's like young. Barron's young.
But you couldn't pick on the Obama kids even when they're smoking fucking weed in front of a camera.
And twerking. Like hookers.
Right? You can't say shit about him. But Barron, right? Fuck you. I really have a hard time with that. I'm not European. It doesn't roll off the tongue well. But, you know.
Well, he's like a gold baron or like the red baron. It's easy.
He's the red baron. He's the pizza.
He's the orange baron.
We may make fun of it, but you know what? Anyway, beyond the point. The point is that he's fair game now because they don't like the president, right? So everything's out the window. So if that's true, then the same thing's with this fucking kid Hogg who keeps sticking. You want to stick your neck up, we're going to fucking hit it. You want to come up and say shit that you have absolutely no saying, right? No generation of Americans have known what an AR-15 looks like or getting shot at by a gun like that. Fuck you. Did you ever watch a war movie, you stupid little motherfucker?
They all play video games, right?
Bro, he, like HD said, he's got the POW face. There's something not right about that kid.
There's something.
He's been shaped and molded, bro.
You know what? He's got the same face that fucking Himmler had, right? And Goebbels. Motherfuckers with them dead eyes. Like that broad that did the shooting at fucking YouTube. Them fucking eyes with nothing behind them. Right? Those dead fucking eyes that do not see humanity.
Yep.
And there's no, the only difference between the two is that chick shot up YouTube. Otherwise, fucking no difference. That kind of psycho needs a bullet. And you know what happens to it? It ends up running countries. You know, you ever look at pictures of Stalin? You ever look at pictures of fucking Mao? You ever look at pictures of Pol Pot? You ever look at pictures of some of these fucking dictators? They all have that same look.
What kind of look do I got, Mule?
Yeah, you don't look at humanity like it's fucking, like it's just a thing in your way.
How do you know what I really think off of YouTube, though?
It's the only place you ever are. You're on YouTube all the time.
Yep.
How many hours you been on YouTube today, Tony?
A lot. I got on at 11 last night, and I did one till like almost 4, and then I got up at like 1.
I worry for your health if your channel gets shut down, brother.
I know I have nothing to do. Well, no, Mule got the dragon open for me. G got the People's Tavern chat, so I still got 2 bars to burn down if they.
No doubt.
I'm just having fun, man. I know it's all bad. You know, I kind of like finally realized, like, I mean, you guys saw me with the Trump hat and the optimism and all that. And
hey, man, I went to his rally in Phoenix.
Optimistic for Las Vegas, dude. You know, I live here. Everything's good. Shit's going good. I'm still optimistic for Las Vegas. But as far as some fucking politician or anything like that, and being in this utopia, this perfect fucking awesome place, it's just not happening, dude. It's not. We're not going to fix it. There's only one way to fix it. And we can't say it on here, right? And we can't talk about it.
Fire and blood. That's the only way to fix it.
Or earthquakes and tidal waves. That works too.
Zombie apocalypse might do it.
I'm with the earthquakes and tidal waves more than anything.
A UFO invasion.
Hey,
that's the conspiracy theory. That's how they're going to do it.
Well, no, see, that would be the one thing that would rally the planet. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. We have no real enemies anymore, right? That's why we're fighting each other. That's why it breaks down into tribes, because we have no outer enemy to fucking focus in, right, on and attack. So if we had some kind of alien, Reagan even said it back in the day, and he was right about that. If fucking some alien, if we had, you know, Independence Day show up, just, you know, the Jew and Muslim Christian fucking killing sprees would be like, yeah, fuck that. We gotta deal with these green motherfuckers that might have, you know, it's gonna kill us. We're gonna leave our little shit behind, because we will become humanity then, instead of just, you know, fucking all these little hyphenated fucking versions of it.
Yeah, maybe for a little bit, but then the Democrats would be like, well, green lives matter too, man.
Yeah, they'd be like that chick in Independence Day standing up there at the welcome sign before she gets.
Exactly.
Yeah, before they get wiped off the building there. Yeah.
Yeah. But I gotta tell you, for all the bullshit going on, I still have fun popping people's pills and red pilling their asses. I got to red pill my boss today because he was bitching at me about Trump sending fucking troops to the border, and I had to blow his mind with like going, "Oh, you mean like Obama did? Oh, like Bush did? Oh, like." You know, like Clinton did. And he was like, humana. Well, why is he doing it now? So then I explained it. Did you not see this caravan that they're letting, this refugee caravan they're letting up from Central America and letting them march through Mexico to come to the United States? And why is he doing it now? Because they're showing it, and they're showing everybody giving the finger to America and America's idea of fucking securing our own borders. And
start stocking this up. Look how much shit I've read out of it now in like 3 years. I've had it.
I red pilled my boss today, and it was fun as hell.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mule. Go. We got him.
I red pilled my boss, so it was fun. You know, that's always fun when you red pill somebody, when you start busting their, because you know what? You can argue, you can yell, and when you're talking to people who fucking agree with you, you're golden, right? But when you talk to me, you better come with facts. When you start saying I feels, I start whipping out I fact.
Don't bring me the feels, man. We'll shut that down.
I shut it down fast. And, you know, like I said, I red pilled my boss today, and he's probably still gagging on the motherfucker.
It's a big one, huh?
And show you, how do you like this? They're taking a month. They should be here in May. They're announcing it every step of the way that they're going to invade our country. What do you expect the president to fucking do? Oh, I didn't see that report.
Yeah, we know what news program you're watching.
See and read the Huffington Post. The fuck are you supposed to see? Right?
That stuff was everywhere, though. It was in every. I mean, it's on CNN. It's on every network. That wasn't like hidden anywhere.
Yeah, but if they don't want to pay attention, they're not going to, right?
Yeah. If you don't want to look, you're not going to find.
I went and checked, I'm looking on articles for the YouTube shooter, right? All over the fucking place. You know, you go to Huffington Post. If it had been a white dude shooting, it would have been, you know, the head, you know, 100 size print, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to go hunting for the YouTube shooter the second they found out that it was a woman, Muslim, Iranian, vegan, PETA member.
PETA member, yeah. That checks every one of the boxes they don't want checked.
Dude, that type shrinks. It goes off to a corner on the page, down to the bottom, you know, to where, oh my God, now I have to type that in on search.
Can you imagine if she was a transgendered? I mean,
you know, why am I having to search for this? It should be number one. No. The second they found out that it didn't fit their narrative, they shoved that motherfucker to the side. And if you go reading all the fucking commentary, it's still, well, if she didn't have a gun, white men pissed her off, right? And she's not really Muslim, she's white too, right?
Oh, is there a story about the white? It was a white guy she shot. Is there a story about that?
No, I'm saying that she's white too, right? And that the white guys made her do it because of, you know, whatever.
White privilege.
You know, it's fucking, it's gone beyond. You know?
We knew it was coming. It was even in effect by that afternoon. The shutdown, like there was no news.
I mean, when they could make the narrative being, you know, oh, once they found out it was a woman, it went immediately to a love triangle that was non-existent.
Yeah.
But that was the story for 4 hours until they found out, oh, well, wow, that guy was just random. He's in there bleeding out going, I don't know this broad. I never fucked her. Don't blame me for this shit. She just shot me. You know, and they're like, wow, well, we really can't push that fucking love triangle narrative anymore.
Actually,
so
is there stories about the victims, who they were or anything?
I'm sure there are by now.
Okay, I haven't looked. I didn't know if anybody knew or looked it up or anything.
I'm just using that, you know, as an example because once they found out there was no love triangle, the story got even lower on the page.
It did seem like that though when you heard the story. Like, a female shot a guy and a couple girls. Like, oh, there was some drama going on at work or something. Somebody's boyfriend got messed up or something.
And for the first report, she was
immediately, right, until they found out the truth, and then it went into that fucking black hole of the news speak, right? It went into that censorship mode, you know, where they tear down everything she ever said, and her whole manifesto for why she did the fucking thing, right? It's all gone, and the only reason why you're ever going to see any of it again is because other people knew that was coming, and so they started downloading it to keep the record because they knew the internet was going to get fucking scrubbed.
It sure tied their censorship to their gun control there in one big tight knot.
Yep.
If that had been a white Trump supporter, NRA member, all these gun channels would have been shut down like hours later.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they just scrubbed the net, man, and they're just waiting for the next one. They're just fucking waiting for. We've known this, right? Because we've been talking about it for so long. But they constantly are just waiting for the next one to happen because guess what? Evil's out there in the world. It's going to happen again, right? Yep. And they're waiting for the next one, and they just wait to find the one that fits a narrative, one they can make fit their narrative, right? You don't hear you're not hearing anybody talking about banning trucks at fucking Menards, right? Even though, guess what some muzzy did on a jihad into New York, right? Took a truck, mowing down people in a fucking bike path, but you ain't hearing shit about, truck control, right? Because why? There's no narrative for that shit, right? It doesn't play into the bigger picture of what they have, which is they want control. They don't give a shit if you mow down people with a car, kill one person with a gun. We can use that.
Well, they're working on autonomous cars. Are going to be driving everybody everywhere anyway, eventually anyway. So they're working on that angle.
But the car is inconsequential. You're not going to use a car. You might use a car bomb, car whatever, right, to mow down people. But you're not going to use it to defend yourself against a tyrannical government. Use it to defend yourself against tyrannical police, right? What will you use? A firearm. So what are they going to take away from you? The firearm. The actual possibility of defending yourself. That's why they don't give a shit. That's why there's no fucking bomb. The guy in Austin, right? There's no ban on bombs. There already was, but they're not going to go fucking getting rid of everything that's underneath your sink that you can make one with.
Yeah, I can still go buy stump remover and sulfur in the garden center.
Yeah, that reminds me. Did you see that article today? There was a Sam's Club in Ontario, California, had a small explosion. Guy fled the scene, had a device in his vehicle as well. That came out this evening.
No, I didn't know that. But when you think about it, look, they make you use your ID to buy cough syrup because you might be able to make meth from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they you fucking use your ID to buy Drano.
Yeah. Or bleach.
Or bleach.
Pool shot.
Or pool shot.
Or brake fluid.
High nitrate soil enhancements, right? So,
we'll stop there.
That shit, but you give me about 10 minutes and I can blow up a fucking building. I can still buy diesel by the fucking 100 gallons.
Or propane.
Right? They don't give a fuck. Because it's not about saving lives. It's about controlling serfs. It's about controlling the peasants.
That's what gun control is, people control.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they don't mind guns. They just want them in the hands of the rich and the powerful.
Well, look at that Chelsea, whatever the fuck her name is, right? Screaming about how her bodyguards don't have semi-automatics.
Oh.
If her bodyguards don't have semi-automatics, they should not be her bodyguards.
Right. That one right there just makes you think, like, are you really that dumb? Like, we know you're not that dumb, so you're just saying something for attention. So
who was that again, though?
Shut up. Chelsea Handler. She's a supposed comedian.
Is a second-generation Nazi, right? Let's get shit straight. Her fucking grandfather and her father were fucking members of the American Nazi Party. Her grandfather was a member of the fucking German Nazi Party. Fucking second-generation Nazi.
Neil knows more than we do. Neil knows more research on that.
Yeah,
well, it doesn't matter who your parents are. When you make a statement like that, you're obviously doing it.
Yeah.
Not because it's because you're trying to prove a broader agenda. Because that's just
you better watch out. I might go fully semi-automatic.
Yeah, full semi-automatic.
If we can be held accountable for the sins of our great grandfathers, why can't she? If I'm supposed to have this white privilege because of fucking slavery 150 years ago, and my people weren't even in this goddamn country, then why can't she be held accountable for the fact that her father and her grandfather were both fucking Nazis?
There you go. Right on cue. Check this out. Throwback to April 5th, 1939, when membership of Hitler Youth became obligatory after law issued on March 25th stating that children would be forcibly removed from their homes and placed in the custody of state-run orphanages unless they were enrolled. That's a throwback Thursday to throwback to April 5th, 1939. That's why this picture, that's what
there you go. Wow.
Context of that picture.
In one sense, we've done it slightly smarter, right? So you don't have to be enrolled in the Hitler Youth to get your kids snatched, right? They just have to go say that you beat them, that you discipline them, that you won't let them change their gender, that you won't anything. They can call CPS, and the fucking state will come and snatch your kids.
You know what?
That's what Hitler and they trained the kids to do in Germany, and that goes just directly to you talk about 1984. 1984 has that example right at the very beginning. The kids turning against the elders.
Yeah, turning in their parents. Look, man, I mean, if
my girl don't believe that. My girls, we were having this discussion the other night, and she don't believe. She said, "How could the government get the kids to turn on their parents like that?" More or less,
they already are.
Have you seen David Hogg talking about?
They already are.
I'm not. You're not trying to convince me.
I know.
So, ask your girl how she'd feel if she's smoking a joint in front of her kid, and when the kids go to school the next day, they go talk to the DARE people, right? They go to a class for DARE, and DARE cop asks, well, how many of you guys have, seen somebody smoking marijuana cigarettes, right? Oh, raise your hands. Oh, any of your parents? Oh, awesome. What's your names? Guess who's getting a fucking visit? Yep. Guess what happens if they smell weed in your house?
No, but no. Should not the so much like present reference, but she's like, how did they get them to do that back in the day? Like, because we're not at that point to where they're basically turning their parents in to be killed. You know what I mean? Or murdering their own parents outright. We're not to that point yet. So she's wondering, how did we get there?
Because the kids probably didn't even know their parents were going to get killed when they turned them in.
Dude, Soviet Russia perfected that dealing with the kids. They did it in school.
Yeah.
But you get there. That's the thing. You get there. You start where we're at right now.
Yeah, they get there, Tony, by the state starts providing them everything they need. They start providing their self esteem. They provide their food. They provide their needs. They emotionally and physically, and the state becomes the parent, and that's what they learn to love. And they value it more than their own parents.
That they were basically be able to replace. That's what I explained to her. That they were able to replace. So, I mean, whatever when the state said jump, the kids said how high. The kids didn't even question it
because they were rewarded for it. They get a sense of self-reward and all those psychological things that go into it.
Well, look at this whole school shooting. Look at the whole Florida thing, right? Look, I mean, you can actually take that and paste it in there, Tone. You don't think those kids would turn in their fucking parents in a minute if they had firearms because they're getting so much recognition as being against it.
Yeah.
Right? That fucking David Hogg kid already admitted it.
Yeah.
Right? That we'll have all the kids turn in their parents. So is it on the way? In some places, yeah. Every place in America? No, not yet. And you're never going to get every place in America. America's too big. We're not Germany. We're not fucking in these other countries. There's always going to be pockets of resistance here. There's always going to be places like my little hometown where half the kids they may get the propaganda in school and end up home to break that propaganda up. You're going to be hard pressed to have a farm kid turn in his fucking parents.
Yeah, I mean, the more I keep talking about participation in all of this, whether it's the state or whatever fucking dumb bullshit laws or rules or regulations that come up with. I keep talking about the participation. So if you can limit your participation or just take yourself out of the equation completely, like your kids being in the school district, our school district is it is a well-defined enemy of the people of Clark County, so limiting my kids' participation and then eventually just getting them out of that as a whole, you know what I mean, is a step in the right direction. If we could do that, that's the only non-violent thing we have with everything they throw at us. You know what I mean? The non-participation in their fucking game. You know what I mean? They want to turn everything into a game, then fine. I just won't participate in it. You know what I mean? That's one way we can do things where it's not You know what I mean? Full 1776. I'm good to go either way, dude. But I just whatever.
And
We've heard, Tony. We've heard. I've seen your videos.
the other way,
Ain't nothing
right?
changed.
How you spend your money is the other way you can have control. You can not participate in their bullshit, right? You can do everything with your families to work against the propaganda. And how you spend your money, because money matters more than everything else in this fucking world at this fucking time, right? Because money equals power. And that's the little bit of money you have, and how you spend it is the actual little bit of power you have in this world today.
I mean, I don't know. I used to think that. I feel like the enemy is so well funded that the way that we're so divided up. I mean, I guess every little dollar could hurt, but in the grand scheme of things, I feel like the left, that's what they have more than anything. They have the funding. You know what I mean? They have like limitless funding for their stupid causes, you know? And that's the one thing we lack. I mean, we obviously lack you know, a strong brotherhood and putting all differences aside across the board. I mean, they're able to do that. You know, they're able to overcome any hurdle to make sure the leftist agenda is fulfilled. But the funding, you know what I mean? The funding, I think that's hard to overcome. There's way more people that want to see this country destroyed. You know, there's way more money bet on this country being destroyed than propping this country up and keeping it what it is, I feel.
I feel you're exactly right. They won't be happy until we're not, a republic at all, and that whatever they want is good. And even then, they probably won't be happy. So who knows?
Well, I mean, what if they end up destroying this whole thing completely, which they're pretty successful at it. I mean, at some point, they got to come through door to door, clearing motherfuckers out. I mean, I'm not that naive to sit here and say, well, that'll never happen.
Well, they'll do it one by one, you know, here and there first, because
they're doing it already. They're doing it already. I mean,
they're already doing it.
We see people get stripped of their shit. You know,
and nobody stands up for them.
My girl don't believe me. I went to the doctor the other day. They're asking about domestic violence. They're asking about domestic violence to be checked out at the doctor's office. They've been doing that for some years. You know what I mean? But my point is they're so in everything. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do with that? You know, you basically have to be like some type of isolationist. Like, you just participate in fucking anything. You got to be out there where you're at, and you go into town when you need to. That's pretty much the rules of, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fun, man. I love going to town like once or twice a week.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Living large.
I've always lived large. I have a problem. No, but I'm hoping that I won't be as large because I'm eating better and I have a busted ankle, so I'm only doing as much as I can, but, you know, it's a lot more than I was doing in an apartment. There ain't nothing to do in an apartment, but 40 acres? Yeah, there's stuff to do out here.
Fuck yeah.
Right? Always something new. Oh, your homestead, there's always something to do.
Yeah, something to do. I'm only limited by my ankle, which unfortunately limits me a lot more than I wish it did. But
well, you should throw that 4th of July shindig, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should. I don't got no property. I've talked about getting a fucking YouTube shoot together for what, 4 or 5 years and never been able to do it because I don't got shit. I mean, I could invite everybody out to the middle of the desert. Yeah. It's about as best as I can do.
Yeah, my only problem is if I go to Mississippi, I ain't ever coming back.
That's probably a good plan, Mule.
Yeah.
And that is my plan. If once I get past the Mississippi, I ain't never coming back. I'm so sick of the cold. Right now, it's fucking. It's freezing dick off up here. It's fucking.
I did see. You see where that town in Iowa was giving away free land?
Yeah, yeah.
And you see me sitting here with no shirt on, no homo, with the windows open.
Reason why they're giving free land away in fucking Iowa, right? And 100 miles outside of Lincoln, Nebraska. There's a fucking reason for that, right? Because there's nobody lives there. It's too goddamn cold, and the only thing that's out there is fucking cattle and snow.
Corn. There's gonna be
Go
corn.
west. That's her. Yeah, you
Gonna
go.
be corn.
You go west, son. That's what I'm gonna keep telling you. I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna message you every day. I'm gonna say, go west, young man.
Yeah, I'm like Glocker Bob. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can always camp out here until you find something if you want.
As free as say Arizona, it actually being a viable country.
You fucking jump in that motherfucking vehicle, bro, and you hit everybody you know on YouTube all the way to your destination. That's what you do.
I tell you, you got a place to camp out here. Got plenty of it.
Yeah, could you imagine what the NSA would say if that shit actually happened?
Fuck them. They don't run shit no more, right? Trump's in charge.
Yeah.
Trump will save us.
Oh no, here we go.
I'd be pulling into Ashford, right, and there'd be a black fucking SUV, and you just find my truck on the side of the road. Mule is here.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm down to do that, Tony. If I get a couple people to say that they're willing to come, fuck it. Let's do it.
I mean, we can do it because, me and my girl, we might have to make a little sneak attack on the reservation real quick so she can go by over there. But, so, how far? Well, you're what, 6 hours from me?
No, 3.5.
Oh, yeah. No, Justin's 6 hours from me. You're 3.5, so we can head to Kingman. That's $130. So the Kingman would be the halfway point to your house, right?
Yeah, that's about right.
The way I drive, I don't think you know how I drive.
We're right off the 40 too, so it's not like you have to go very far.
40 east, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that for groceries out west? Fucking 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's just around the corner.
He has his own land. Hey, we could bring fire. You think if we bring fireworks, do you think that the sheriff or anybody will show up?
Nope.
Sheriff.
Dude,
I'm talking about illegal fireworks. I'm talking about good ones from the Indian res. Because if I'm coming down to your pad, I'm bringing fireworks.
Think about when he calls 911. They say we might be there tomorrow.
It is a long trip, dude.
Right on. Fuck it. Yeah. Because if I'm coming, we're bringing Indian res fireworks on the way.
Hell yeah.
Live it up.
Hell yeah, we're gonna go, dude. Because we're gonna need film. We're gonna need fireworks. We're gonna need shooting.
I'm hoping that I'll be making black powder fireworks by that point.
We're gonna need some BBQ. We're gonna have to put a hog in the ground or something. That's what we need to do.
And a full bit of nitro, right? Can have a whole lot of fun.
Shit, we can get my pops bought a pig a couple years ago because they do a big get together. They put the pig in the ground. I think he said it was super cheap. I want to say like $50, $60.
What?
Yeah, they got buddies out here.
What kind of GMO pig is that?
Hey, he showed me the pictures, and we always, when I hung out with all him and cop buddies and stuff, they always put a pig in the ground. I don't know where they get their pig from, but
that's kind of fun. Pigs eating pigs, right?
Hey, this is Northtown. This ain't pussy ass Metro. The Nasty Boys. That's what they had. The nickname in the '90s was the Nasty Boys.
Dude, I'll tell you a story on Northtown real quick, right? So them motherfuckers were coming in and busting in this place that I used to frequent, right, and had friends with. And as they were coming in the front door, dude, I got out the back door into the next apartment over. and they raided the whole fucking joint, and I got away because I just walked out the back door and went into the next apartment. And that's how I earned the name Mule and running shit to Vegas to them fucking junkyards out in North Vegas, right? People didn't realize all that fucking crystal coming from California used to go right in those fucking junkyards in goddamn Vegas.
It's funny because like North Las Vegas hasn't changed much. I mean, it got bigger, shit got added on, but you go down and North Vegas is the same. It's been for, fuck, dude, 30, 40 years.
If I drove a car into a certain fucking junkyard down there, they'd still know me. And they'd be asking me what's in the car. You know?
That's funny.
Hey, Steve, what are you doing for 4th?
Hard to say.
You coming to Arizona?
That'd be a stretch.
Still
What's that?
Too far out to call it?
Yeah, that's probably true. I usually have a side gig I can pull some cash in on the 4th, but we'll see.
No, you could always ride with Tony.
Where are you going to stick you with that sniper rifle too to earn that extra cash?
No. If that's how I was getting extra cash, we wouldn't be talking about that.
Right.
Shit, I don't know what I'm doing for 4th. I mean, I don't never... Dude, we don't... Honestly, me and my girl, we don't plan past next weekend. She's trying to make plans for next weekend already. I'm like, make plans and you get there.
Come on.
So the farthest I got is Pink Floyd in September, or Aussie Floyd in September. That's about as far as I got planned right now.
I think I'm planned out through like the first week of May. That's about it.
Really?
Shit, I planned out 8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, I got plans until tomorrow.
Well, it's not an hourly plan, but it is like big milestones. You know?
I mean, I got a lot of stuff I want to do, but the funds aren't really there usually. So it's kind of like, well, let's see what I can do with what money I get.
Well, he's like a full-time like homesteader now, right? Or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I guess you'd have to say so, right?
I mean, I mean, pretty much every time I see you, you're doing some fucking like animal stuff. So
there you go.
Don't even want to know.
I'm figuring,
well, if an egg can fit in there.
Well, I don't know. You can't go on vacation if you're a farmer, right? Do farmers go on vacation?
Depends on what kind of animals you have.
Right? Yeah, it's hard to. You have to get somebody to watch your animals. It's hard.
I know there's some alpaca farms out here that they say they can take vacations all the time because the alpacas pretty much take care of themselves. But like anything else,
like goats would die, right? If you didn't take care of them.
Yeah, you gotta have somebody come by and water and feed. You know, you can't just leave them. It just depends on if you know somebody that can drop by
and take care of themselves and shit.
Yeah.
The pigs will start eating each other.
Wouldn't be that bad.
You just gotta leave your enemy with his fucking Achilles tendons cut, and the pigs will take care of it from there.
I was on vacation. I don't know what happened, officer.
Yeah.
See how that story goes.
Hey, he was feeding my pigs for me. He must have fell. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I don't know who you talking about. I don't see no evidence. What are you talking about?
Never heard of them.
It ain't like that shit ain't happened before, right? So,
especially in Nevada.
Yeah, well, we're fixing to do one up. I've been talking to my pops about going halves, so we can go in on like even something bigger than what I was looking for. So we're trying to make that happen. I'm already like 2 years late, dude. I feel like I'm way late. But
that's the thing. You got pigs coming across you. You got hogs, wild hogs coming across your property.
Not yet. No, not that I've seen.
Oh, because there's an easy way. You know?
Right now, it's just mostly coyotes, foxes, and cattle.
And you could kill everything but the cattle, right?
Yeah, technically I could probably kill the cattle, but I don't really want to do that because I kind of want to have my neighbors happy with me. So.
Right. You know, you bring them back their cow and just tell them, hey, I want some steaks when you fucking finally butcher this bastard.
Oh no, I'm going in on a half a cow here pretty soon. We're gonna, well, should be this month. I think we're gonna do that. About $500 for half a freaking cow. So that'll be our beef for the year.
That ain't bad at all, man.
No, it's not. And it after we can it up, it should last us for the whole year. So.
Is it butchered? Are you gonna butcher it?
Yeah, it'll be butchered.
Chopped up. Man, that's fucking good.
It's hanging weight, you know, so obviously the bones and the hide and all that are weighed into that, but still figure half a cow, even if it's a couple pounds lighter, it's still going to be more than enough beef. I think we did the math. I don't remember what it was.
Imagine what you could do with half a cowhide. Learn to tan, and all of a sudden you got fucking, 10 liters of beef.
Nah, I don't know if I'm going to do anything like that, but
not that hard. Just brains and a lot of scraping.
I get grossed out.
You're going to be a real homesteader. You're going to learn gross isn't one of the words you get to keep unless you're talking about something.
Right? True.
I mean, that's the way to work. And I kind of wish more people got back into it, because then they would learn what the real struggle is, even if you're only doing it because you want to.
Oh yeah.
It's such an experience to be able to struggle and fail. You get so much more out of it. I mean, that's a big part of this social problem we have. Everybody gets a participation trophy. Everybody gets, you don't have to win or lose. Everybody wins. It doesn't work like that. Life sure is fucking.
I told them kids the other day, I said, now when you put them Easter eggs out, I serious too. I said, when you put them Easter eggs out Sunday, don't put dollars in all of them. You got to put rocks in 3 or 4 of them, because everybody's not a winner. And they're like, well, I never thought of that. And I said, well, do you win every day? And I was serious about it.
It's funny. We used to do the Easter egg thing with my daughter at the apartment, right? Pretty easy there. So this year I was like, okay, well, I got 38 acres to hide these eggs. She's like, no, we got to make a rule of where you're putting those, Dad, because I'm not gonna walk the whole property for all day long.
I was gonna say though, like that whole like being able to fail and learn from your own failures has like been removed from society. Besides the fact that you get a trophy for losing. Like that experience that not even that somebody's there to tell you, hey, this is the right way to do it. Hey, you just fucking failed. But just that experience, out there, like you ate tonight, last night you didn't eat. You know what I mean? Like that, failure and just, able to correct that and know that and learn how to fucking, learning from that by yourself, or I guess with a teacher, but mostly just man by himself, just that able to be able to like prosper from your failures, even with jobs and everything like that. Like it's almost like you get that one shot. You get, there is that such fine line that like a man can't learn, like throw me into some shit, say, hey, this is how you do it. I fucking do it. I fuck up. It's not the space shuttle didn't just crash. You know what I mean? Like, let me fucking learn, and they've taken that out of society. And I think that's a big reason why everybody's a fucking retard. But, like let a man, give him the instruction, or even flat out, like when you're homesteading or whatever, and you just learning, hard by yourself. I mean, there's that. Yeah. You get that reward from losing. You get that reward from winning, And in this world that we're living in, the whole thing that we're fucking competing in, there's no reward for either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, sink or swim. There was a reason for it, right? Now it's
swim, yeah.
It's in a life ring, right? You don't have to sink or swim. right? So you can just bob there, you know.
Yeah,
But back,
there's no wrong answer anymore.
yeah,
It's
well,
your opinion. You give them your opinion, and the answer's right. They don't want a right or wrong answer. Nobody's wrong.
But because of that, it makes the expectation so high that the failure is so much bigger than it needs to be, you know?
but
Like-
that's that whole Common Core math mentality. The only wrong answer is the right one, right? 2 + 2 = 4 is the wrong answer in Common Core math. You know, and that's the society we're living in, where the right answer is wrong. You know, show your work on 2 + 2 = 4. Well, you got it wrong because you went right to the right answer, which is actually too simple for you. You need to figure it out and come up with 5 or 3.
Wasn't it Common Core that said that 2 + 2 could be 5 if you explained your reasoning behind it?
It'd be 5 or 3, and if you put down it's just 4, it's the wrong answer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, talking about living and learning and failing, I'm doing a lot of learning right now and hoping I'm not going to do much failing because yeah, I got myself a cast iron pot. It's pretty
Nice
big
little
one.
Dutch oven.
And then you know, I got a nice little holy ladle that goes with it. Yeah, that's for casting lead. Should be getting into that pretty darn soon.
Also really good for making squirrel stew.
Yeah.
Right, Saints?
Man, that's a big one right there.
It is.
Man, you must be planning on pouring a whole bunch of bullets.
Look at that. That's like bigger than my head. So
All them, most of the little bullet ladles I've seen is just like a small frying pan, but you got the mega size going on there, yeah.
well, I went to Goodwill, right? You know, Goodwill's the best place to pick this stuff up. I got this for $15 cast iron.
Heck yeah.
And then I got this. This is just to clean off the top of the lead, but I'm going to be doing a ladle with a 3/18 drill bit in the hole so that it kind of does a bottom pour. I wanted to get one of those Lee pots, but they're electric, and I mean anything that uses that much electricity to heat up stuff is going to be a drain on my solar. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, like they did back in the 1800s, I guess.
You gonna set it? You gonna do it with an open fire? You gonna propane it or
propane?
Yeah.
I got an outdoor burner that I'll be able to use.
You got all that scrub brush, dude. Start breaking out a chainsaw. Cut some of that shit down. Utilize
I still got to get a chainsaw. I still don't have one yet.
You sure enough preheat it in a freaking fire before you stick it on there, because to get that everything molten in there and get all the impurities come to the top, you ought to get some pretty good heat on it. I don't know that I would if you had a way of covering it, try to keep ash and stuff out of it. Preheat it on a fire and then put it on your gas bottle.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that. I'll have to look into it.
Sounds like a good idea. Save you money on the gas, right? You get all the preheating done on wood, and then you get the rest done on gas.
Well, it'll sit there for a while before you lay it'll turn. I mean, it'll take it a while for the heat to all build in there and for you lead and all to go molten.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I remember seeing something. I think it was with the Lee pot, though. That was like 10 minutes with the Lee pot. Now that's electric, not fire. So I don't know. Yeah.
And you got a big old pot there, so.
Oh yeah.
And the Lee ones, they're not really the ones I've seen. They're like just maybe hold 4 cups of lead.
Yeah, it's like a 20-pound pot, but it's pretty small.
Yeah, they'll do a lot of bullets. I mean, that's a lot of freak time. You cut them down and reclaim your spew and all that off of them. That'll make a lot of bullets.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I've been binge watching like a mofo the last few days on stuff like that. So I'm hoping that I got enough information that I don't fail and blow myself up or pour hot molten lead all over the place.
You gonna do? Yeah, you got a sizer with you gonna put the gas checks in them, or have you got the ones?
No, I'm gonna powder coat them.
Okay. Cool. Heck
Have
yeah.
you been checking out Real Cobra Burnout? He's been doing a lot of shit like that right now.
Yeah, I've been watching him. I've been watching Elvis Ammo. Who's the other one? Fortune Cookie 45 LC. And there was one other. I can't remember the name right now. But yeah, been watching as much as I can. And I was watching this other guy, but he's taking all his videos down in preparation for this YouTube thing. So who knows? And then I'm going to be making black powder because I want to have those skills. I want to be able to make that stuff just in case I have to, you know.
Well, you know, look, in my thoughts and my idea, that's perfect, right? Because like guys like me and you are not tier 1 shooters. We're not going to be going out kicking doors, but you found a skill that you can train up on,
right?
Yeah, I'm tier 5, baby. You know? Yeah. I'm a tier 5 shooter. I got the fucking crutch in one hand and my AK in the other.
Yeah, you know? Pretty much same here.
You know, when I say shit like stock up, team up, train up, you know, you're training up. You're training to reload. You're training to make bullets. You're training to provide resources to the militia. You know? Yeah. Which, hey, speaking of that, hey, I got a question for everybody here. Have you heard about how Oregon is going to refuse to send the National Guard to the border, right?
Yeah, we briefly talked about that in the beginning.
I was hoping so. So here's the funny thing that from my eyes, right? So this can actually be used in our favor because what she's showing is that the state militias, there really is supposed to be a militia. Right now, the National Guard is under control of the federal government. She's not really going to be able to do it. She can make a lot of noise. Again, this is more grandstanding than an action, right? But it goes to prove why each state needs its own fucking militia and why they need to get out of this National Guard system. And it was all done as just more of a control thing on the Fed's part, right? Bringing all these state militias, which were once truly state and community run, into the national fucking umbrella run by the Army, right? And so, in my eyes, this is a good thing because it just strengthens the argument on a need for real militias in each state. And it's not controlled by a Fed. I agree with her. She doesn't want to send her people down. She shouldn't have to send her militia to another state. It's supposed to be there to protect her state. But the fact that the militias have been done away with and pulled under the National Guard umbrella and given under federal control,
yeah,
right? I think this could be a good fight because guess what? It's another Second Amendment fight. So if you're gonna say that Oregon has the right to have its own militia, well then it needs the Second Amendment. So all them fucking anti-Second Amendment laws that Oregon's putting up should be null and void because you need a militia. They need to be armed. They need to be well regulated, which means well trained and well equipped.
Yeah, but that argument's not going to go over with people it needs to go over with. And the Trumpsters are all going to be anti that because they think Trump should control anybody in the military that wears a uniform. So that's not going to get very far with that argument, I don't think.
Oh, I know well, like we know, facts don't go very far. The logical arguments don't go very far.
We need an emotional argument. What kind of emotional argument can we bring for this?
PETA is an evil organization who breeds terrorism.
So we need the militia there to stop PETA. That's what you're saying?
That's a start.
and these are reasons why I keep I'll talk to you guys and I don't talk to anybody else anymore, and I stop reading half this shit anymore because my brain goes to the logical argument. My brain goes to what, I know for being facts from studying history and our government. Do I know everything? No, I'm a fucking idiot, high school dropout, fucking cab driver, basically, But how am I fucking smarter than the people that run a company? How does that work?
It's not that you're smarter, it's just that they're in on it. They don't care.
I still
Yeah,
think
and
there should be a mentally ill check like there is on firearms in order to run for Congress.
Oh, don't even get me on that one, man. That fucking that's how they're going to get the fucking guns. Is the red flag law that they're using now? One at a fucking time. They've already started hitting fucking vets with PTSD.
Yep.
Some fucking relative says, "Oh, they have a shit ton of guns and they're angry all the time from their PTSD. Let's go take them." They've already done it.
Yeah. We'll give them their due process later.
Well, they take them and then they tell you your due process is you have to go to court and prove that your PTSD doesn't matter and you can get your guns back, right? So there's no fucking innocent until proven guilty. It's now you're guilty, period, and you might be able to prove your innocence. That's the due process, is you might be able to prove your innocence. Because
those are the first people they want to get the guns from anyway.
Oh, of course, because they know that, you know, after 15 years of war, we have 15 years worth of fucking combat veterans out there. And if you really want to know an army that can be risen up, there you go. Right fucking there. People already trained. And that's who they worry about more than even the average civilian that pays for their own training.
Yep. True story.
You know, you want to hear the biggest fear that the fucking government has? 5 guys like me with 1 combat vet leading us.
Yeah.
That scares me, I think.
Yeah, that scares me a little bit too. It's hilarious.
And well, it should. You know, and that's the way it should be, right? Look, only my thoughts, but that's the way it should be. Okay, all these guys that went and served their country and got these skills that are needed should be out there training everybody who doesn't have those skills and didn't serve. Right? And that's what the militia was originally for. There would be, you know, they elected their captains, right? But their NCOs came from ex-military, right? So they'd have ex-military NCOs be able to show them the drill, show them everything that the current fucking military was doing, and they would give that information to civilians. And then, you know, then you go home back to being the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. One fucking weekend out of the month, you're out there on the fucking on the town commons training. And being trained by people that used to be professionals. And guess what? That shit still happens all over the country. Just not out in the open anymore.
Right.
You know, we can't be open with our freedom. We have to keep our freedom under a box or something these days, because guess what? The government does not want you free. It just wants you compliant.
Yeah.
You know, I watched this video on and it's all over the internet right now, of this guy in South Carolina, North Carolina somewhere, right? Greensboro.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
He's standing up before the council, and man, almost everything he said I agreed with, until he said, well, if you change the law and tell me I have to turn in my guns, I'm going to do it because I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
I went off the rails right there. I went, in my head, I would have said that if you do that, you will turn me into a felon, and then there's trouble.
No.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't agree with, is like, I ain't turning Jack in.
Yeah. I've already decided that if they're going to make me a felon for having a bump stock, then I'm going to go full auto. Screw them.
Hot and empty. And you know what? When my kids bury me, hopefully they bury me with a couple of AKs. And I tell my kids every day, look, the day I die, if shit ain't gone off yet, you bury me with every gun. Why? Because if they're coming to get them, they ain't going to snatch them from me. But if you need them, you know where they're at. And that's just being honest. You know, I got a 21-year-old son. I got a bunch of grandsons now. They may need these motherfuckers one day if we don't need them before I die. And they ain't grandfathering shit. You ain't gonna, if they get their way, you ain't get. They may let us keep them, but once we die, our guns go too.
Yep.
So
I don't even see him doing that though.
Carry them with me, and if you actually need to shoot somebody, just bring a shovel.
I'm purposely not picking up my steel brass. I think I'm doing that though, so that if they ever come out there with a metal detector, they'll never find anything because it'll just be constantly on.
Yeah, exactly. You just have it everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
My mom's not too happy about that though. She goes out there and tries to clean it up. I tell her, no, don't do that.
Yeah, you want to clean it up? Run it over with your truck. Just push it down.
If you're staying on 520s out there, I call him Justin. I'm not even going to attempt to call him 520.
You just did call him 520. It's probably time. It's about time to wrap it up, actually. Yeah, it's late. It's late for me, at least. You guys got all night, but
it's about time for my nap, man. I need to get about 3 hours on the clock getting paid,
That's the kind of gig I need right there, nap during work.
Oh, yeah, man. Mule pisses me off every time he talks about his damn job.
Dude, I'm loving this, dude. I'm so fucking loving this job. And the fucked up thing is I threw a kettlebell in here so that way when I'm out like in the yard or something and I'm waiting for summer, I'm going to be out doing workouts in the middle of fucking night, grabbing a nap for a couple of hours, go work out, take care of shit that I normally have to take care of in my own time, getting paid.
Yeah, on chat's getting paid too.
Right.
Oh, I just got to
telling the world how you feel. You
don't want
you making
it's
6
crazy.
figures a year? Should I come get a job out there, or can I get a similar job out here? Can you recommend me?
I don't know, man. I'd have to look. The big companies want to drive for big companies. It's the small company that bought Illinois RailNet, and they have a bunch of rail out, all over the country. But they're the only ones that like to hire small contractors to do stuff.
This Price is Right. I'd be all in on that. I need a retirement job, not a job.
There you go.
Dude, I'm technically making more than the fucking union guys I drive around.
That's what it should be anyway.
That's because they pay all them union dues.
I just got a raise. I just got a raise last week. The boss is like, yeah, he's like, look, you basically got it locked down there. Here's more money to keep you happy. I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks. I was happy then. I was happy before. You want to give me more? I'm happy before. And guess what? I'm still going to sleep out of my 12-hour shift. I'm going to sleep 4 hours of it.
Yeah. I had a job like that once as a security guard that was like you could just snooze most of the time too, but that was a long time ago.
All right, Mule, I'll be on the lookout for that type of work. Let me know. Be able to.
Transport. I'm telling you, it's insanely simple. I mean, I drive them to railheads. I drive the crews down the trains. I take them back to their home base, which is in my hometown. So I'm 5 minutes from my job, And then I talk to you guys for hours on end, sitting up here,
Using up all your data.
No, I went with an unlimited plan. It's all good.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
I mean, what excuse do I have now that I'm fucking, doing a job that I just laugh every day. I go to work happy because why? This is the easiest money I've made since legal money I've ever made.
Right.
The easiest legal money I've ever made. I've made plenty of easy money in this life, but never legally, and this shit it almost feels like a crime.
Yeah.
But I'm just, I'm chalking it up to, hey, you know what? The karma wheel worked good for once. Instead of shitting on me all the time, it gave me one little gold star for a minute. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
It's good to win every now and then, right?
Yep.
You know, I've been such a negative asshole for so many years. It's nice to have something positive, to deal with. And with all the negativity that's going on in the world, it's hard to keep a positive outlook. So it's good for me, actually, right now. I go to work smiling every day. I come home, I lay down for 4 hours, I get some sleep, wake up, play with my grandson for 6 hours, and smile all day long. I'm in such a good mood here lately. I've cut my weed intake in fucking at least 75%.
Holy cow. Your dealers must be not happy.
I give a fuck. But there's no, I'm bored. I need something to pick, blah, blah, blah. I only use it for pain management, and, I don't use it at work. So it's cut it out to where I'm down to 75%.
Nice.
And I'm
saving
not busting
money.
Yeah, and I'm not breaking my back, so it's not like I need the pain medication, but I don't need it as heavily as I do when I was doing normal work, which was physical. When I'm doing hustle, I'm the one carrying the lumber to do the deck, right? I'm the one down there busting up pipe underneath fucking trailers to try and fix somebody's bathroom, carrying a toilet in and replacing everything, It's all on me. So at the end of the day, I was in fucking, I'm old. I fucked my body up. I'm in a little bit of pain. I used to smoke a lot of weed. Now, I don't do dick all day. I go home, I smoke one bowl before I go to bed just to help me, chill out before I fall asleep. That's it. I've never been this happy, and I don't understand it sometimes. I'm just going, it's driving me nuts. I'm like, I got to get pissed off about something because shouldn't smile.
You still live in Illinois near Chicago. That should piss you off.
It should, but it's not. I'm fucking, look, I'm armed. What am I gonna do? I go, I see the hookers. I wave at them now. Hey, how you doing?
Yep.
It's fucking hilarious. My face hurts from smiling sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it. It's driving me crazy. In a good way, though. And yet, I still have an AK in the back of the fucking bag. I still have my 9mm right under my seat right now. I'm still prepared for the worst, but I'm running around all day with a happy smile thinking, that might even be fun.
Oh, right.
Anyway, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion of biggest thing is about that Deerfield thing. Like, what do you see? And I think, like you're saying, it's going to end up being nothing. It's just going to be a long, drag out process,
Yeah, and they know it, right? So they're doing it for the headline. They're doing it to make the noise. They know it's not going to accomplish what they're saying, but they know that they then get to make themselves to be media stars out of it, right? They get to their 5-10 minutes of fame out of it, right? Now it looks like this town that never had, hasn't had a fucking crime in years, took a stand against crime.
Yeah. Well, they even said in their statement it's just a feel-good thing. They even admitted there's no impact or anything real. It's a feel-good thing.
But here's the real impact of it. Every fucking headline that's out there talking about it, both sides being able to use it as ammunition to fuel their fucking side's agenda. Right? So there was some real consequences to it. Is it going to be real consequences of them kicking in some fucking millionaire's door to get his AK collection? No, that shit's not going to happen. Right? Even though that's basically what the law is saying it's supposed to do. But that's not going to happen. But what did happen was people talked about it. People are fighting about it. The NRA, which should be focusing on so much other shit, is going to focus in on this. Gun Owners of America should be focusing on the bigger picture shit, are going to focus in on the small picture shit. and get money for it.
They are. I mean, let's give like the Gun Owners of America put out that notice today about the ATF thing, so they're keeping their eye on the big ball too.
Well, I hope so, but look, it worries me with all these little distractions because it's so, the attention span of the average human is fucking nanoseconds.
Especially on YouTube.
What? Huh?
Hey, what are we talking about?
Hey, look, the sky is blue.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous. So a lot of this is just they have to sell soap, right? And they need to distract you from what's really going on. So every time there's some big bullshit going on, and we've said it for years, go look around the bullshit and see what the thing they're trying to distract you from.
And there is a lot going on, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's where we really need to start trying to focus our attention. It's not what they're pushing at us to get our attention. We need to start focusing our attention on the shit that they're trying to dissuade us from looking at. Because therein lies some real problems.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up. You want to say anything, Mule, before we kick us out of here?
Thanks for having me. And hey, stock up, team up, train up.
There you go. Wise words. Stinger, you're up next.
Check out some reloading places if you're even interested in it. I mean, Highboy Reloading. I've been learning a lot from Elvis Ammo, and he's fun to watch. And Fortune Cookie 45LC, also a good reloading channel.
Oh, right on.
So.
Okay.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having a good signal and being able to get in.
Yeah, the clouds are clear tonight, I guess.
There you go. It's hit and miss with you, I know.
It is.
It's just bad. Just the same with me here.
I'm pretty blessed to be able to get online. I can't believe it that I'm basically tethered to my phone using my computer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wife set it up. It's beyond my pay grade.
You know HD fed his goats on the days that he can actually run a chat, right? If you ever see his morning chats, right, and the fact that he's like, it's like he starts telling you something and then his signal goes. He didn't feed the goats that day.
He's robot and all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's the reason. All right, Saints, if you're still with us.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. Thanks everybody for coming out. Appreciate it. Don't eat your preps up. Don't shoot up your ammo. It ain't over.
I just loaded up 1,000 9mm, so I'm all right on that.
There you go. That should be enough.
It's good enough for a weekend.
Yeah, exactly. For a weekend.
Yeah. All right, Tony, you want to click us out with anything?
Shout out to all the lawbreakers in America. That's pretty much it. All the not statists in this country. Everybody on Team Liberty and Team Not Status. That's it.
Say lawbreakers. Those are the lawmakers.
Well, the people,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
the nonconformists.
There you go.
Those guys. The rebels.
Well, conservatism and liberty-minded is the new counterculture. So.
Yeah.
Right, that's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, everybody, thanks for coming out in the side chat. Everybody joining and watching the chat or whatever. However you participated, the side chat was just all over the place.
Yeah, they always have their own thing.
They were, several rabbit holes. But ZPD Survival was with us. TruthBlitz.com joined us. Truth Freeze. They were like the last ones holding up all the weight out there in the side chat. 520 was briefly in here with us. I don't know if he's still out there. But we had a bunch of people earlier chat we talked to. But these people have been. Charles Danger was with us. He doesn't like Kate Brown very much, apparently. We got Quasar was in there and joined us earlier. Talking about going to sleep with no food, starving, not fun. Kevin Stoll's with us earlier. Good evening. I'm assuming he's in bed by now. He doesn't stay up too late usually. El Chavez is with us back at the beginning, and that's we have Bikes and Bullets is with us. Bikes never did get his link in here, I guess. William Gares is with us. How you doing? If there's anybody that's off topic, it's him. But that's all right. We'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, that catches up from everybody had in the beginning. Thanks to everybody. I hope everybody got something out of the chat. We started off there with the Deerfield thing. All the links are in the description box of the subjects we discussed, in particular the what the resolution means and the lawsuit that is coming up with it. But like we said, we don't think it's going to end up being anything, but it is either a beta test or just a big distraction in the long run. A lot of money will be spent to get around in circles and end up back where we are. So, but anyway, thanks for coming out on Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, if you want to join us for the morning. And I'm sure Tony will have a chat at some point in the next 12 hours, if not 2 or 3 in that 12 hours.
Yeah.
It's about time to start your chat, isn't it, Tony? You start at midnight? What do you...
Shit, I don't know. I don't know tonight.
All right. Yeah, but be on the lookout over there at the Norte channel. And does everybody have a good day? Have a good weekend if we don't see you. Live free.